Hello everybody, I think we are live. Let me just double check. Seems like it. Welcome to the Vibe Coding on Steam Deck until I make $1 million video. So to those who are just joining, basically every day I'm going to be starting a live stream and then just vibe coding. And vibe coding is essentially where you just write code via AI. So no actual coding being done by myself, just writing some prompts to an AI, and then the AI writes all the code for me. And the idea here is to basically play with random AI and tools and frameworks and things, and just kind of get myself a bit more familiar with AI. Of course, I don't want to fall behind, so this is a great place to then play with AI. And we're going to be making a bunch of random applications and games and release them as well. Basically the idea of building in public. And so yesterday we actually started making a list of applications to make, as you can see here, a list of applications and some games. And then also the reason why it's a bit like squashed here in the middle is because today I'm actually streaming both to normal YouTube video as well as the YouTube Shorts. So if you are watching this on YouTube Short, let me know how it's looking, if it's looking good or not. Let me actually make sure myself as well before we start the stream properly. I'm opening up my YouTube. Let's have a look here. Go to my profile. Seems like I'm live. Click on my channel. Okay, I just want to check here and see if it's looking good. Looks good. I don't know how to watch my own YouTube short, but the normal one is live. Okay, so the idea today is to actually start and build the result calculator. Yesterday we just defined all the applications, but today we're actually going to start vibe coding. So I think the first one we are going to be doing is the result calculator. So the idea of this application is to build the base calculator on Linux, because as you know, I'm using a Steam Deck, and a Steam Deck runs SteamOS, and SteamOS is running on Linux. I just want to turn my own volume down as well here. And since I'm using Linux, the thing is, Linux doesn't have any good calculators. I tested a bunch of random calculators and I could not find a good calculator on Linux. Not even a single calculator on Linux was good. The best one I found was one called KCalc, and that's made by the actual the KDE development team. And this is basically how it looks. So it's not perfect, it does the job, it's a calculator, you know, but this was the best one that I could find. And the thing is, coming from Windows, the Windows calculator is pretty amazing. It's a very good calculator. And when I switch to Linux, I'm really missing the Windows calculator. So the goal we have for the first application is to build a calculator. Now I have already begun building a calculator. I've actually built many calculators over the years. My first calculator was, I think I built it in 2012 or 13. It was very simple, just basically like a text box, and then a button for subtracting and a button for adding, and then a text box again to add a second number, and then a button to click on the equal sign, and then a text label to just show what the result was. And that was my first ever calculator. And back then I also called the calculator result calculator. So I think it's fitting to call this one result calculator as well, result being my surname. And if you watched the previous video, you would have seen that we also made a soul.md file. As you can see here, I'm from South Africa. My name is Sean Result. I'm 28 years old. And the idea about this soul.md file is that eventually we are going to be making a clone of myself and training an AI to be Sean Result. And that's the idea here behind this file. So we just basically listed some basic information about myself. And I accidentally made a double one here. Let's close this one. So as an example, also I'm a self-taught programmer. And as you can see, I've been programming since 2007, when I was 9 years old when I started programming. And yeah, so going back to the applications, It's going to be a result calculator, and the idea is to basically rebuild the Windows calculator, but much better. That's the whole idea. So I think let's just jump right in. I will show you what I have so far. I have built quite a bit already. So it's not perfect yet, and we have to improve it, but this is what it is so far. I can zoom out here a bit, zoom out. It needs some work still, but you can see it already looks like the Windows calculator. It works like the Windows calculator as well, but we have added some additions to it to make it better. Also, the big benefit about my calculator is that it's cross-platform. The Windows one obviously only runs on Windows, whereas this one runs anywhere. It runs on the web, on iOS, Android, macOS, Linux, Windows, anywhere, it just runs. And that's a nice thing about having this one. Okay, so we have all the basic things already, like standard, scientific, graphing, program, data calculation, a bunch of converters. So we have all the basics already, and I have even added some additions here that is not in the Windows calculator. So we're getting there by making a better one already. Let's start. I think we should start making a list. You'll see I made a tasks.md file to basically just list down what we need to do. So I think let's start here. The first thing is we need to improve the UI on small devices. So improve UI on small devices. So if I were to just refresh here to let it reset back to the initial size, you'll see, oh, it's actually 2 bugs I have to sort out here. It doesn't remember the theme that you choose. So the nice thing about the calculator is that if you go to settings, we have themes. So I can change the theme if I wanted to. Let's say I want to make it a Aura theme, right? So I choose a different theme, but the thing is it doesn't remember the theme. So if I just refresh, it goes back to whatever theme it had saved somewhere. So we need to fix that. So let's start off here. Improve UI on small devices, and then we need to fix theming, need to remember. Okay, then what's next? So you can see the UI is not great on mobile, like buttons are overlapping and things like that, so we need to work on that and improve that. Then we need to also just want to change the UI a tiny bit here. I think we can make more space this way. Just checking the YouTube Shorts one to make sure I don't actually cut off any content. Okay, we need to release a new web version. Need to release a new web version. I'm just going to cut it short a bit here. Release a new web version. Release a or not release, we haven't actually published one yet. We need to build a new Windows version and build a new Linux flat hub, or let's write flatpak version. Then flatpak version needs to be able to resize smaller. So I have a flatpak version already, but there's a bug on it where I can't actually make it super small. So here's the Linux flatpak version. Now the thing is I can't actually make it smaller than this, like it doesn't allow me to go smaller. So we need to see if we can figure that out and allow it to go smaller, because right now it's just stuck the way it is. We can't make it smaller. We can make it bigger, but I want to be able to make it smaller because it is quite big in terms of relation to my entire screen. Okay, then I think let's actually start. We can maybe do some things already. Okay, there's also a bug on scientific. The UI does not look great, as you can see here. So we need to improve the UI. I will zoom out for now. Well, actually, the programmer one needs more work, I think. Yes. Okay, let's start here. Programmer mode needs consistent UI on mobile. Okay, let's start writing our first prompt here. The UI doesn't look great on, but I need to write this prompt so that the YouTube Shorts can also see it. So let me see how I can do it. I think I should just start by making a GPT mini one. I'll say hello, and then I can drag that one into the YouTube Shorts view, I think. Hello, where's that chat? The chat just disappeared. Okay, I'll show it shortly for the YouTube Shorts. Okay, perfect. So now we've got the prompt here. I'll drag it in. There we go. Okay, let's start. We'll say here that the UI on mobile is not looking great. Buttons are overlapping, and then I will attach a screenshot for it. So in Visual Studio Code, when using GitHub Copilot, you can actually share your web application with Copilot by clicking this button here. So I'm clicking that button, and then you can also click this button to take a screenshot and actually add an actual element to the context. So you'll see here, it added it to the wrong context. So I think I can click here, I can go back here, I can then select context. Oh, it's adding it to the wrong context because I've taken this window out of my normal chat. Okay, maybe there's a better way to do this. I need to reorganize this bit then. I will see shortly. I see Ian is saying something here. Ian, yo Sean, thoroughly enjoyed the casual chats in yesterday's stream about where you come from and what your mission is with streaming. Thank you, Ian. Ian, are you watching from the normal YouTube or from YouTube Shorts? And how's the quality for you? Because I see YouTube is complaining again that my bitrate is a bit low. And then Yanni Cool 1 said, what are you doing right now? Okay, Yanni, so I'm basically going to be building the best calculator for Linux because I'm using Linux and the Steam Deck, and there isn't any good calculators for Linux. So the plan is to rebuild the Windows calculator and make it cross-platform and work on Linux. That's basically the idea. Okay, I think I don't need context. I'll just say the UI on mobile is not looking great. Buttons are overlapping on the standard mode as an example. And then I'll just take a normal screenshot for it, I think. So I'll take a screenshot. Then I'll paste it in here and say buttons should not be overlapping. If they are, then make the height smaller so that all of the buttons fit. Okay, I'll just switch to GPT 5.4 and I'll add some more tasks in here. So fix theming, that's spelled wrong. Theming. Okay, so currently if we switch to a different theme, like the, let's say, silver theme, and we refresh the page, it doesn't remember the theme. So we need to say here, when we choose a theme from settings page, it needs to remember that theme. Currently, if we refresh the page, then it didn't remember the theme. Okay, then we're gonna add one more task. Let's just read the chat here. So Ian says, love the unicorn calculators as well. Thank you, Ian. Yanni says, oh, thoughts on Claude versus Codex. Okay, so one of our goals here, Yanni, if we go back to our other chat here, we have a goals file as well, and we have some goals here. So currently I only have a subscription for GitHub Copilot, so I don't actually use Codex or Claude Code right now, but I have watched a ton of videos on it, and they both are pretty incredible, I think. In terms of like the actual program, meaning using Claude Code or Codex, I think I don't know which one is better, to be honest, but in terms of the models, I do kind of prefer the GPT models just because they are cheaper in terms of using them and the token usage. But one of our goals here is to actually buy OpenAI Codex and Claude Code and then start using it and playing with it. Currently, we don't have it. We only have GitHub Copilot. What is your thoughts on it, Yanni? What's your opinion? Which one is better, or which one do you prefer and why? And then Ian says, currently in 720p 60 fps but trying 1080p now. 1080p buffers, but that's probably my connection. It looks great on my end. Okay, thank you, Ian. I'm glad it's looking good. And then Yanni says, wait, are you using local agent right now? So I am using the built-in models that comes with GitHub Copilot, which I will show you shortly. So you'll see here we have a couple of ones that comes with it. We have Claude Haiku, Opus, and Sonnet. We have Google Gemini, and then we have a bunch of GPT models as well as Grok and Raptor Mini. I mostly use GPT 5.4, but I do quite often also use some of the other cheaper GPT models. And then currently Opus 4.7 I only use if I really need it, just because it's quite expensive to use it. If we go here to our other chat in the calculator, you'll see here that so the way GitHub Copilot works is it doesn't charge for like token usage, they charge per request. So every prompt that you do, that's basically a request. And if you look at the GPT 5.4 model, one prompt equals one request one time. But if you do use the Claude Opus 4.7, then one prompt is actually 15 requests. So it's way more expensive to use Opus 4.7. So currently, just due to me not having like Claude Code subscription, I don't really use the Opus 4.7 one at all, just because it's super expensive, while the GPT 5.4 one is pretty cheap. As you can see, it's just one multiplier for one prompt. Okay, next task that we can give it, I think we need to also fix the languages, because currently if I search for German, then German is missing. So German and Dutch and some other languages were the first ones that I added, and then I also added a bunch of other ones after those ones. So I think all of the first ones are not here anymore. I need Copilot to figure out what happened to them. So camera blocks the middle. So you mean like middle bottom? Oh, when I did the models. Oh, I see. Yes, my apologies. You didn't actually see that. I'll move my camera to show that again. I'll move my camera away. I need to get used to where I put my camera. So you'll see here, if I show you now, that GPT 5.4 in Copilot uses one request. So one prompt equals one request. And then Claude Opus 4.7, one prompt equals 15 requests. So it's just way more expensive. And that's how GitHub Copilot works. It works based on requests and not actually like token usage. They are planning to change that, but I am using the annual subscription, meaning that mine won't change actually. But for all new people subscribing to GitHub Copilot from next month, it will actually be different than the way it's currently for me, at least. And then Yanni says terminal. What do you mean by terminal? Like using the models via the terminal? Is that what you mean, like via the CLI? So I can do that. It's just that I prefer using the VS Code. It's nice for me to have VS Code because it has a built-in browser. As you can see, I can also click on a file and instantly see the source code for the file. Obviously, I can also make prompts. I can also type into a markdown file, and I can also commit to GitHub straight from here. And it's very easy. It's, in terms of comparing it to a terminal, at least, because it's all just built in for me already. Why do you use API usage-based billing? Can't you just use the monthly subscription? So you can, but I chose the annual one just because I was planning to use this for a long time. So for me, it made sense to get the annual one. Brother, you should go for Claude Code. Yes, Lucky. So I am planning to go for Claude Code. In the previous video, we made a list here of goals, and one of our goals is to get Claude Code, as you can see. That is a goal we have, and we are going to be getting it soon in the future. That's the plan, at least. I'm going to move the camera back here. Let's jump back to the calculator, and let's start by adding some prompts here again. We'll say that the German and Dutch languages seems to have disappeared from the list on the settings page. Please check why those languages are missing and fix them. Maybe some other ones are also missing. Okay, this is going to be our first prompt for the night. I'm going to choose GPT 5.4 and press enter. While that's thinking, let's just make the UI better for people watching from YouTube Shorts. Yeah, Yanis, I'm using the annual one. And thank you, Lucky. Appreciate it. Welcome to the chat. Okay, while GPT is going there, I just lost my shoe. Where's my shoe? While it's busy going here, I'll start and continue the tasks list. Okay, so we're currently busy fixing the UI on small devices. We are fixing German and Dutch missing. And we are fixing the theming as well. Okay, what else do we need to do here? We need to also change the URL. So currently it's pointing to calculator.seanrosell.com, but I want to change that. It needs to point to a different URL. Point URL to, I want it to be calculator.apps.seanrosell.com, and then we also need to make a website. Make website for apps.seanrosell.com. I'll just change the UI a bit here for people on YouTube Shorts. Okay, Yanni is asking, you are using GitHub Copilot so that you can use Claude and Codex. Yes, exactly. So with my GitHub Copilot subscription, I get access to many different models, including the GPT models from OpenAI, the different Claude ones from Anthropic, Google Gemini, Grok, all those ones I get access to just because I have GitHub Copilot. So I do get to use those ones if I want to. And Johannes says he has Codex. Yes, I'm planning to get Codex as well. I'm pretty keen to get it. I think that's when the fun starts. Once we have Claude and Codex, then it's gonna be fun. Okay. We also need to fix the settings icon. Fix settings icon. You'll see here on the calculator that the settings icon looks a bit weird. As you can see there, this doesn't look proper like it's supposed to look, in my opinion. So we need to fix that as well. And I think, if I remember correctly, the Klingon was also broken when I last checked. Oh, another thing about GitHub Copilot is if you chose for it to sharing with agent, GitHub Copilot can actually control this browser, and it can actually do things like type in Dutch and even browse your website, which is pretty nice. So if I remember correctly, I think that Klingon was not working, the Klingon script version. That does not seem like Klingon. Is that Klingon? No, that's not Klingon. I think we need to double check Klingon. Don't think it's working properly. Okay, Afrikaans is working. Klingon. Yeah, Klingon. I don't think this is Klingon. Let's just take a screenshot here of this text, and then we will open up a new tab here. We'll go to copilot. Actually, we don't need that. We can just make a new chat. Let's make a new chat here. Bottom right, YouTube Shorts won't see this, but I'm basically just asking here, what language is this? And then I'm attaching the image to it. Okay, let me get back to the chat. Okay, why do you need Codex subscription if you have Copilot? So I think the reason why you still want the Codex subscription is because Copilot, I think, is more expensive in terms of like how many usage you can get out of it. Because if you only get Codex, like if you get the Codex, I think $100 plan, you'll be able to get way more usage out of it compared to getting Copilot, because Copilot still has to make money somehow. So they don't just charge you for just the Codex essentially. They also have to like charge above that to make money as well. So technically Copilot is more expensive in terms of usage. So if you only use OpenAI models, then it's most likely better to also get Codex, in my opinion. Okay, so GPT Mini here on the side says that this is Klingon, but it doesn't look correct to me. Let's just type in here again, Klingon. Oh, it made some changes now here. What's it doing, man? Just refresh here. Klingon script, Klingon. Maybe it's correct, I just don't know how Klingon looks. That might be it. Lucky is saying, brother, can you give me your kind of short background info, like your age and educational background, the roadmap you followed to come to this position, doing vibe coding? Yes, of course I can. So, basically, I am a self-taught programmer. I'm 28 years old, and we also have a Soul file here, soul.md, because we are planning to train an AI to be me in the future. But basically, I'm from South Africa. Sean Result is my name. Self-taught and 28 years old. I've been programming since the age of 9, which was back in 2007. I started off building applications using C# and WinForms, and then eventually I moved to building HTML applications for Mixit. Mixit was a social network for South Africa, and I built applications for that using HTML, which eventually evolved into CSS and JavaScript. And then I also wanted to make applications and not just websites, so I also learned Delphi. And then slowly I began using databases. In the beginning it was just Microsoft Access, and then in 2015 I got my first job as a programmer, and so I was using Ruby on Rails at that company mainly. Obviously I was also using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, but mainly using Ruby on Rails there. And then 2016 I got my second job, which was doing WordPress, also again using HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And then they also had a library POS system written in Delphi that I was maintaining, so also a bit Delphi there. And then 2018 I started working as a PHP web developer, and there I learned PHP and MySQL. I also did a lot of WordPress here. I actually, the main thing I did here was actually build stuff within WordPress. So I was building custom PHP plugins and themes and things like that for WordPress. We were also building custom plugins sort of, but different ways to connect to the MySQL database instead of using it via WordPress. So we were actually using WordPress more as a framework and a base rather than actually using WordPress itself. And then 2019 I started working for a different company again, doing Delphi, Firebird, Postgres, some C#, some React, a bunch of different things I'm doing here since 2019. And then now comes 2026, and now I'm vibe coding essentially. That's basically my background, Lucky, and how I got to doing vibe coding. For me, I really enjoy the actual act of writing code, but I also very much enjoy the act of building software. So for me, writing code and prompting an AI is equally as fun. So doesn't matter for me whether I write the code myself or just make a prompt. It's just both are pretty much the same in terms of dopamine that I get from it. Okay, let's head back to my calculator. Apparently this is Klingon. So I'll get back to that later, but something has definitely broken here. Let's go back to my chat here. Okay, so GitHub Copilot says it's done. If you want, I can do a second pass on mobile sizing for scientific and programmer modes too. If you want the whole language list normalized further, I can make more entries consistently show native name, English name. No, I don't want that. Yes, do one. No, don't do two. I only want to see the names like how it was. And then let's check the settings icon. And then also check the settings icon. It doesn't look properly like a gear. And then I will show it how it's supposed to look. I have a settings icon here on the side, which I'll just basically paste in for it. I need to make this window smaller for YouTube Shorts. I need to remember this. So I'll paste in the settings icon. Make it look like the attached icon. Okay, let's do that. Okay, Lucky says, okay brother, thanks for this. I am 18 years old, Indian guy. My college going to be started this year, and I learned HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Like I did projects for those. Now I'm learning React. Can you give me a roadmap for the modern give code world? Okay, I'm glad to see you starting programming. What's your opinion on using AI, Lucky? Since obviously in college you are now learning how to use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, but now in the real world, companies will actually require you to use AI. What is your opinion on that? And then you want a roadmap for the modern give code world. Do you mean like give you advice or roadmap what to do in the modern world where AI is required for your job instead of just writing code? Is that basically what you mean and what you want? In my opinion, if you are now an 18-year-old person starting coding in 2026, it's going to be a difficult time because companies are not really hiring juniors anymore. It's very difficult for a junior to find a job in today's market. Most companies are looking for seniors. So it's quite difficult, and just showing a bunch of projects doesn't mean that much anymore because anyone can just make a project with AI. So just showing a project doesn't really tell a recruiter whether you can or cannot do the job because it's just AI doing it. I think it's becoming more and more important not to just be a programmer who writes code. You have to be somewhat of a manager and actually know how to manage a bunch of agents. But obviously you do also need to know how to write and read the code because you still have to be in charge of the code. You need to make sure the code is of high quality. You need to make sure that the code actually does what the AI says it does. And you need to know how to also structure a project properly. So it's becoming more and more important to know how to prompt AI and how the code works, but not actually writing the code. You need to be able to properly instruct agents, I think, is where the world is going to more and more. It's going to be fully AI based, and this is going to be the job eventually, I think. It's comparable to when originally programmers were punching the bits on paper, and then eventually we got to actually typing it on a computer, and then from there we started getting IDEs and giving you full graphical interfaces, and slowly the area is just changing and changing more, and using AI is just another part of the changing landscape, I think, in my opinion at least. let's check if the AI fixed the theming. So if we now switch to the terminal theme as an example, which is my favorite theme, and we refresh, it does remember the theme. Okay, so we did fix that now. Let's go to the tasks. So fix theming, that is fixed. Perfect. Let's just zoom out here a bit. Zoom out, okay. I think this UI needs to be better on small screens as well. This theme dropper doesn't look great on very small screens. Let's type a task here for us. Improve theme selector on very small screens. Maybe if it's a very small screen, we don't show the whole drop down, but we just show the names. I think that might be better. Sure, lots of chat messages here. Give me a second. Okay, so Lucky says, I want to describe what you feel. So I feel as today in Vibe Code era, we don't need to EV code monkeys. We need to be system architecture. So I plan to get overview of everything and then just making my SaaS, as I already make Telegram bot by anti-gravity. Is it good? One roadmap I am following. I want to do business. I don't want to be a slave. Yeah, I think it's good. I think more and more we'll see people becoming solo entrepreneurs and building a whole business by themselves. It's not really needed in today's time, thanks to AI, to have a whole team to build a whole business. One solo person with AI can build a whole business, build a whole SaaS, and make millions. I think more and more we'll see people who are just one or two people building a whole company. So yeah, I think it's a great roadmap. Just keep building, I think. Then Yanni says, do you have suggestion how to improve portfolio now that AI prevalent? Yes, I think I do. I don't think having so many projects is that valuable anymore, because like I said, anyone can build a whole project in a few minutes or hours, thanks to AI. So just showing projects is not good enough anymore. I think you have to actually ship products, not just some demo projects. I think for your portfolio, you have to ship an actual product, like publish an app on the Play Store, or on the Apple App Store or Steam or somewhere. You have to ship an actual product to show companies that you are able to actually build a product from the beginning to the end and take that product through the entire build life cycle. I think having full products is going to become more and more important. And depending on the company, obviously some companies might still want you to write like a coding test, but I think the traditional coding tests will also fall away. I think it will become less and less important for a programmer to actually be able to write a coding test. I think you have to prove that you can build a product. You have to prove you can use AI, essentially. I think that's where the future is going. For some people, it's great. For some people, it's not great. It just depends on the person. I don't think traditional coding will be going away anytime soon. It's still going to be here for many years. But I think AI is going to become more and more popular as well over the next few years. I mean, people are still writing COBOL in 2026. I think just like that, people are still going to be writing code 20 years from now, as an example. So even if you completely ignore AI, I think in 20 years from now, there will still be people who write code. But I think you will need to know AI if you want to evolve and actually have a good job in 20 years from now, in my opinion. Like it says, today I found something crazy. Like someone doing piracy of education site. He just managed to save all video when they love video to render on his site. Yeah, it's happening. Some people are even like taking copyrighted source code and using AI to rewrite it and release it as MIT, because you are actually allowed to take copyrighted code and then if you rewrite that code, you can relicense it and make it whatever license you want. So people are actually going and relicensing software by simply giving the whole code base to AI and telling them to rewrite it, which is also crazy, because then what's the point of having a license if license doesn't actually matter? You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily against it. In my opinion, MIT is the best license to have. It's just scary that a random person can bring down an entire business by just giving the code to AI, and then the next day they have that entire business's code, and now it's MIT licensed. Lucky says, and now he giving access by watching ad to people. It works for 24 hours. After that, for the students need to go again, watch ad again to unlock paid content in free. Yeah, I also saw a website where someone took games that other people have made and they basically build their own website around embedding those games into their website and then showing ads as well. So the person is like almost advertising as if he made a bunch of browser games, but what he's actually doing is just embedding games that other people made and then placing a bunch of ads and paid systems around those games, and it works. I mean, the guy's making thousands of dollars from that, and there's nothing illegal about it. I mean, it's legal to embed someone's game if the person allows it. So this person is like embedding a bunch of random web games and Scratch games, and just build the whole business around embedding games from other people. Okay, let's see how the agent is doing. Oh, it failed. Why is it failing? Let's just say try again, I guess. I do have quite bad internet. I'm living in South Africa, and in South Africa we have regular power cuts, like electricity cuts, like power would just go off, and we also have pretty shitty internet in some places, especially where I live. There's no fiber, as an example. So I'm running on mobile internet, 2G, 3G, and sometimes 4G. You'll see here that one of our goals for the future, if we go back here, is that we need to get better internet. So that's a future goal as well, get better internet. I hate how Copilot sometimes opens up so many browser tabs showing the exact same thing. Okay, so it says it did update the gear SVG icon. Let's go have a look if that's better now. Okay, so the calculator is already looking much better on small screens, as you can see. Looking very nice. Perfect. Okay, that's looking good. Scientific one we still need to improve. And then the gear icon is now also looking better. It's not perfect yet, but it's definitely looking better. Okay, so okay, let's see if German and Dutch is fixed. So settings, language, German. Okay, I still don't see German here. Okay, improve, fix settings icon. It's not fully fixed yet, but I'm gonna mark it as fixed for now. I'm happy with it. It's much better already. Okay. We also need to make sure that the calculator can work offline. Make sure it can work offline. Well, lucky. You are pretty lucky to have 5G. The closest 5G to where I stay is probably like an hour and a half or 2 hours drive, and then you get 5G at a town. So yeah. Okay, so Yanni, the goal is not to make $1 million with just the calculator. So the plan is to make a bunch of random applications and games, and possibly some SaaS businesses, but the calculator is just one I really need because I'm using Linux, and Linux doesn't have any good calculators, and I am honestly sick and tired of using the Kcalc calculator on Linux. Sure, it does the job, but it's not nearly as good as the Windows calculator. So I want to make something better that I can personally use. So that's basically what we're doing here. We're making a better calculator, and I wish I could make $1 million with just the calculator. The plan is to release the calculator as a free calculator for web as well as for Linux, and then I will also be publishing the calculator on Steam, and on Steam I will be charging money for it because it costs money to publish on Steam as well. It costs $100 to publish on Steam. And obviously I'm using a Steam Deck, so I also want to have a good calculator for the Steam Deck, and that's why I'm also publishing it on Steam Deck. So I've already paid for it to have it published. I just have to finish it at this point. I don't know how much I'm going to charge for it yet. Most likely not a lot. It's just the first app. But if I go to my document here, we'll see we have a bunch of couple apps we are planning to make. So the first one is the result calculator. Then we already have an app called Result Developer Tools that I made. Currently this app is completely free, but I might change the model around it in the future. This app is basically an app that just contains a bunch of random tools. So maybe I can show that. I'll open the app and I'll give you a glimpse of it. This app I started building almost 15 years ago, and then slowly over the years just kept updating and improving it until what we have today. Okay, I'm gonna show it in a small screen because people of YouTube Shorts. It doesn't look great on a small screen because it wasn't built for a small screen. But essentially what we have here is an app that has a bunch of converters and generators and just useful tools for programmers and graphic designers. So as you can see, like a JSON to YAML converter, a text to array, a bunch of different encoders and decoders, some text or code formatters, hash generators, UUID generators, just a bunch of stuff that I have needed to have over the last few years. That I basically packaged into one giant application. There's also a color picker, which looks better on a bigger screen. So currently this is completely free. I might change this in the future. I don't know exactly yet what the plan is here, but I do want to somehow make money with it. And then we also have a QR code generator that we're going to be building and charging a subscription for it, a monthly and annual, as well as a once-off fee. The plan here is to simply build the best QR code generator that we can build. Then we're also going to be building a business card generator, an invoice generator, and then a programming learning application currently called Delphi Turtle. But we can easily transform this for other languages like Python, JavaScript, etc. So even though it's specifically made for Delphi right now, the plan is to evolve this into other languages as well. And then we're also going to be building a learning language application. Currently I'm building it for Afrikaans, but this can easily be adjusted for German, Dutch, and other languages as well. This application I started building initially also like 10 to 15 years ago. But we are rebuilding this one from scratch now and building something better. Lucky says he has an idea. Let's hear it. And Lucky says, and I even worked on that 70% complete. Okay. He says, launching zero hallucination chatbot with 799 rupees price in India. I'm going to use different cheap API from Open Router, and the main task is finding the best models for best tag like pi, for roleplay, for maths like that. I'm currently finding best models for best tag. Okay, sounds very interesting. Do you have anything on the internet yet? Like you said 70% done. Do you have anything I can look at? It would be quite cool to have a look. Then let's jump back to the calculator. Let's see how it did. Okay, looks like it failed again. Why is it failing? Validating responses image content. The provided image URL is invalid. What do you mean it's invalid? Okay, let's go back here. I'll edit the... Where's the prompt that I made? Yes, do one, don't do two. I'm just having a look here what they tried to do. So I did fix the settings icon, that I remember. Okay, I'll just do another prompt. Make sure the buttons don't overlap and that the UI scales and works well on mobile for scientific and programmer modes as well, similar to what we did for the standard mode. Okay, why does this one not seem good anymore? Okay, just had to refresh that properly. Scientific one still needs some work. Buttons are still overlapping here. Same for programmer one. Let's just have a look see here. I want to see how it changes depending on the size. Just zooming out here a bit to see what's happening. Okay, keyword is jumping to a different line, which I don't actually want. Okay, let's go back to my chat. Also on the programmer mode, the keyword on small screens is jumping to a different row/line. It needs to stay where it was. Okay, let's have a look, or let's send this, and while that's going, I will test further. I need to test if the languages are working now. The German is still missing. Let's do a follow-up prompt here. Let's do German and Dutch languages are missing in the settings page. Please see why and fix it. I will add that to the queue and then read the chat. Okay, Lucky says, any suggest you want to give on this? It have the potential. So I don't really have too much experience in terms of building a chatbot, to be honest. I did actually build a chatbot many years ago. This was even before AI was a thing. I think this was in, when was this? In 2016 or 15 I built a PewDiePie chatbot. Maybe in a future video I can try and find it and show it, but I built a PewDiePie chatbot where you would see PewDiePie and you can type some messages to it and then it would reply based on what you said to it. And I had a bunch of hard-coded like replies depending on what the person said. It was very much hard-coded and like kind of almost guessing what the person is saying based on words in the chatbot. So I have built a chatbot like that, but in terms of using like an AI chatbot and what cheap models to use, I honestly don't have too much experience in terms of that. Maybe we do end up building a chatbot on this channel in the future, but right now I don't have too much experience in that. I think I also built a different chatbot after the PewDiePie one for a different person. Maybe I built a Justin Bieber one or something. I don't even remember, to be honest. It was so long ago. Yanni says, being a game dev sucks right now. I really need to finish my games. What games are you currently busy building, Yanni? And why does it suck? I think right now is the best time to be a game dev because you have AI to help you. I mean, like, you can use AI to make assets for your game. You can use AI to write the code. Now is the best time to be a game dev, I think. Why do you say it's not? Oh, you're busy building VR games. That's pretty cool. Hey, Astro. And then Lucky says, so are you making any money right now or just making? So right now, Lucky, we have not made any money. This is the second video. We are currently in the negative. But the plan is to continue vibe coding until we make 1 million. That's the plan. But you'll see here, we have a file called ARR, which stands for annual recurring revenue. And currently we are negative 2,100 because we have already spent money which we haven't earned back yet, as you can see. But we'll get there, and we'll make some money and some cool shit in the meantime as well, while making money. Yanni says he's the Elementor WordPress dev. Very nice. I've used WordPress a lot. I used to work as a WordPress developer for like a year or two, and I still use it sometimes for some websites. And Astro says, don't forget your cursed games, lol. Have you seen AI chatbots these days? Just matrix multiplications like forever. Yep. And I don't think I can ever forget that cursed games, Astro. Astro is one of my buddies that we play Counter-Strike together. And then over weekends we play Counter-Strike. Me, Astro, and Astro's brother as well. Okay, let's see what this AI has done. Okay. Let's refresh the calculator and see if it has fixed some things yet. So, can I find German? Okay, so we have German showing. It's showing the Deutsch version of it. I want to see German, not Deutsch. Dutch is showing Netherlands. Okay, I don't like the way it's showing it. Why doesn't it just say German? Like French doesn't say whatever the French word is for it. Okay, we'll let it cook. It's not finished yet, so we'll give it some time. Astro is asking here why you have microslop 365 sub while on Linux, lol. Friction, I have like 30 seconds of delay from your stream. Yeah, I have set a bit of a delay just to keep the quality higher. Because it said there that if I put the delay on normal instead of like quick or something, then I do get higher quality streams. So yeah, you'll see. So I have an option here that says stream latency, and I have three options: normal, low, and ultra low. And if I set it to normal, then there is a bit of a delay, but then I get the benefit of having higher quality streams. So that's why I've set it to be normal. So unfortunately, there will be a bit delay there. I think we also need to make sure that themes look good everywhere. Make sure all themes look good. Okay, let's see how the AI is doing. Okay, so it says it has finished it. I fixed that in settings.js by adding English aliases to the language menu search text while keeping the visible labels native only. Okay. I want the language labels to show in the language that I'm currently using. Meaning, if I'm using English, then all the languages should show in English within the drop down. If I'm using Afrikaans, then the languages in the drop down needs to be in Afrikaans. Okay, let's send that and then go test a bit. Okay, let's see what I can. Okay, this looks much better. The standard one is looking really good right now. Scientific one still needs some work. Okay, I'm going to take a screenshot here for the AI and basically copy this and then tell it here the scientific mode still has buttons that are overlapping on very small screens. Please fix that. And then I will also check graphing. Okay, graphing seems good. Oh, options I can't scroll. Okay, I need to be able to scroll in the options. And on the graphing mode, the options are being cut off at the bottom. I think I should be able to scroll within the options if it doesn't fit on the page. Okay, let's send that. Okay, we're slowly getting there. Let's go back to English for the calculator. Okay, so standard looks good. Scientific will look good soon. Graphing looks good, but okay, so this one doesn't look good yet. We also need labels for these ones here. Okay, lots of work to do here as well. Let's take a screenshot. Astra, who is in the chat, is also using Linux, so this calculator will also be great for him. What is your opinion, Astro? Is there a calculator on Linux that you like and you think is better than the Windows calculator? Because in my opinion, I have not found a good calculator on Linux yet. The graphing mode in the attached screenshot. Can you add hover tool tips to the buttons top right? And also make sure that the buttons at the bottom don't get cut off and fit on the page. Okay, so I think that's what I need to say there. And then I just need to test my calculator on a different screen quickly. Okay, here's the calculator on a different screen. For YouTube Shorts people, you won't see this properly, but I just want to test it a bit on desktop quickly. So scientific one looks good on desktop. This is not the one I'm currently building, this is the live one. But I just want to see how it's looking. It's looking good. Okay, it does seem to look okay here. Okay, a bunch of buttons are being cut off here actually. I'm not sure how it will improve it, but we'll see what it comes up with. Let's send this. So Astro, no, it doesn't support 3D graphing, just normal line graphing. I don't think the Windows one has any 3D stuff in it either, to be honest. I will see what I can do, Astro. If you want, you can send me some screenshots or photos of what you have in mind, and we can definitely build it, I think. Whatever you want, we'll build. What does it show when you divide by 0? Let's have a look. So, like 9 divided by 0. Cannot divide by 0. Okay. So it does do something. Does show something. I need to improve this text here because it doesn't fit in. So let's just take a screenshot of that. And then I'll go back to my tasks and say, when you divide by 0 on small screens, then the text doesn't fit in and gets cut off. Can you make sure that the text always fits in? If there isn't space, then either make it wrap or make the text smaller. Whatever is best for the situation. This must be the case for all modes on the calculator. Okay, start. Okay, so I did add those hover tooltips that I asked, which is nice. Okay, so it shows the buttons, but now you can't actually see the graphing text at the top. So how can we make this better, the UI, so that we can still see everything we need to see? Yeah, we definitely want to see the top stuff here. Okay, I think we need to make this scrollable then. Yeah, it needs to be scrollable. Where's my AI chat? Also, if the height is very small and there is absolutely no way to fit everything on the page and still have it look good, then you're welcome as a last resort to make it scrollable on the page. Let's send that. I see Serenity also joined the chat. Serenity is Astro's brother. And no, I have not cut down the tree yet. I have, however, moved the router so we have a better view of the tower now. And it just started raining as well. So I don't know for how long my internet will work. Because normally if it rains then I have quite shitty internet. So we'll see if the stream just suddenly stops. Then either I don't have power or I don't have internet. We'll see what happens. What comes first? I see Ian is saying here, Astro Serenity, the Indian guy is coming to Sean for tutorials. Lucky should make his own tutorials. There's also good money in that. Although I do think that tutorials are on a decline. Since most people are not watching tutorials but rather just asking AI, which is also sad. Like Stack Overflow has lost like 90% of its user base as soon as ChatGPT came out. So it's basically a dead site now. Okay, let's test the calculator and see how it is. Okay, standard still looks good. Let's go to scientific. Okay, it's looking better, but I still see buttons overlapping, so we still need to do some improvements here. Graphing. Okay, so graphing now has scroll bars. I don't want a horizontal scroll bar though. Okay, let's do some testing. If we zoom out, okay, the scroll bars do go away, which is good. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Okay. Okay. Let's take a screenshot. Okay. Graphing options should never have a horizontal scroll bar. It should only have a vertical one. when there isn't enough space on the page to show all of the options. Also, I'm attaching an image of the buttons on the scientific calculator. The buttons are still overlapping. Please fix it like how we did with the standard mode. Okay, let's go take a screenshot. Then I paste that and add to queue. Okay, let's have a look at the chat. Lots of messages here, some Afrikaans messages. Sean is the coding basis that AI uses to vibe code. Is there an AI only for code? So there is AI specifically only for code, but I think the world has kind of moved away from that. We now normally just use more general purpose AI, which happens to be really good at code. So back in the day, I don't think OpenAI is doing this anymore, but they used to have models specifically for coding. And if you have a look here, we have some codex models like GPT 5.2 codex and GPT 5.3 codex. Now these models were specifically for coding, but OpenAI has now moved away from that, and now they have more general purpose models such as GPT 5.4 and 5.5. So these models are not specifically for coding, but they still happen to be great at coding. But they can also do other things like use tools and make images, make videos and all that. It's more general purpose, which is much better essentially as well. And hell yeah, you can vibe code an LLM. Why not? Well, I think actually both OpenAI and Anthropic are actually using their latest models to improve and build the next model. Like as an example, Anthropic most likely or definitely used Opus 4.6 to build Opus 4.7 as an example. So Stian, I'm not using Claude right now. I'm using GPT 5.4. Also, I'm using GitHub Copilot, and it has some smarts in it. As soon as the context like gets close to being full, then it actually runs a tool call and it does the compact conversation button here, which basically they spin up a sub agent that goes through the entire conversation history, and then it kind of summarizes that context into a much smaller size, and then you basically in the same chat you're using the compact conversation mode, and therefore you don't really run out of context that easily, and you can also then continue adding way more prompts than into the same session or same chat, meaning I could even have like 20 or more prompts in the same session without hitting that limit, which is pretty cool. Now I'm pretty sure that other ones are also doing this, but I know GitHub Copilot specifically has been doing this for a long time. Well, I have to be kind to the AI because maybe the AI takes over and the AI becomes the overlord. So we have to be kind, Serenity. But I think overall AI is great and it brings lots of opportunities for people. Obviously, AI is here to take jobs, and it's gonna happen. People are gonna lose their jobs, but AI destroys some jobs, but it also creates new jobs. So jobs are just gonna be changing. That's it. So Stian, yes, it does cost a bit more money. GitHub Copilot, in terms of usage, is more expensive. We do have a bit of a goal here. You'll see we have a goals.md file, And one of our goals is to get Codex or Claude subscription specifically, because currently I'm only using a GitHub Copilot subscription, and that is unfortunately you don't get as much usage out of it as you do with these ones. So I am planning to get a different one in the future. That's definitely a plan. Yeah, Serente, I saw that OpenAI asked people to stop saying please because it wastes like tokens. That's partly my fault as well, because I used to say please and thank you for the AI as well, but I've recently started not doing that anymore. But it was quite tough because I'm so used to also saying please and thank you. I don't know why. It's just an AI, but you get so used to just being nice to it, you know. Okay, so GPT has finished the prompts. Let's go see what it did. Okay, let's start from the beginning on standard. Okay, standard looks good. Perfect. Let's divide by 0. Okay, that's better. It now actually fits on the screen. Go to scientific. Scientific looks much better. Let's divide by 0. Okay, not too shabby. Very nice. Go to graphing. It's scrollable. Okay, it's starting to look nice now. These buttons, the text don't fit on it. I don't like that. I think that's not too important. Okay, this is looking nice. Okay, this needs to be scrollable, I think, because there is not space here anymore. Because if I now were to say log 9 and enter, you can't actually see it. Well, you can scroll there, but that's not nice. Okay, we need to change that. How can we improve this though? Okay, I'm gonna keep this and I'll make a brand new chat. Just for the context, like Stian is saying, he's making me paranoid. So I'll make a new chat. I'll type hello. Just waiting for this to respond. And then I'll move this to the middle. The reason why I'm moving it to the middle is because YouTube Shorts is only showing the middle part. So I'm moving the chat window to the middle. Before I do that, let's just clear all the other ones, and then I'll move this one in here. Okay, there we go. Let's see how we can improve this UI. The graphing expressions UI does not work great on screens with a short height. Please come up with a better UI for when it's on such a small height screen. Let's see what it does. Thank you, Stian. Appreciate it. And welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining. Enjoy your YouTube. I hope you have fun. Serente says, make the buttons extend down to fit the text so it fits in the bottom. So what do you mean by that, Serente? Do you mean like you get like a button at the bottom, and you press the button and then the buttons expand? Is that what you mean? So basically these buttons here will like be dropped down, and then you have to click something here to have it expand up. Is that what you mean? Because that's kind of what I had in mind. This feels a bit buggy clicking on this. And then Astro says, add a Easter egg when you divide by 0, or funny animation where the calculator seems like it broke. Sean, it seems that you guys always get rain 6 hours after us. It's possible. I don't know. The rain did stop now though, but I think it will rain again, most likely. Makes the button slightly larger if the text in the button does not fit. So you want to make the button larger when the text don't fit. What button is that? Are you talking about the one in the graph settings? Like this one here? So I was thinking that we basically, so currently it's showing in 3 columns. So I was thinking that if the text don't fit, then rather move it down, and then it becomes either a 2-column or a 1-column button. That's kind of what I was thinking should happen here. But let's first see what this one does with the expressions UI. While this is going, for the viewers who just joined, I see we have 11 viewers. We are basically vibe coding a bunch of random applications with the goal of making money through them, and eventually getting $1 million from it in total. And I'm using the Steam Deck to do it. Obviously, I'm not using the actual Steam Deck in Steam Deck mode. I have 3 monitors connected, as well as a keyboard, mouse, headset, and webcam. So even though it's a Steam Deck, I'm kind of using it as a full-blown computer, because the Steam Deck has a Type-C port on it. So you can plug in a Type-C hub, and then you get like a full desktop environment on it, which is fantastic. And the Steam Deck runs SteamOS, which is Linux, meaning that I can use it as a normal computer. And then getting back to Astro's question or thing about the Easter egg when dividing by 0. So I could potentially do something like that, but it would need to be something on a specific theme, I think. Like it should be based on the theme, because the Easter egg could be different depending on the theme. I need to improve this theming as well. It doesn't look great on small screens. I don't think we should be showing the theme so big on small screens. I'm just on YouTube, Serenity, but I'm streaming in both YouTube Shorts and normal YouTube. Is anyone watching on YouTube Shorts? If you are, please let me know in the comments and tell me how's the quality and if it's looking good, if you don't mind. I tried to find the YouTube Shorts, but I couldn't actually find my own YouTube Shorts. I don't know where to see it, to be honest. It's not showing under the Shorts tab, but if I check the YouTube Studio, it is saying that it's showing on Shorts. So I guess I have to believe it in that case. Okay, so the AI is still going here, but it's almost done. I do like that idea, Astro, but again, it needs to be per theme, because this calculator will also most likely be used by like professionals and people in the business, so it can't just be a troll calculator. So I think it will need to be theme dependent. Because my goal here is to build the best calculator that is available, essentially. So not just on Windows, but on Linux, on Android, iOS, all of them. This must be the best calculator, period. That's the plan, at least. And cross-platform, so it must be the same code base that works everywhere. And then I don't know about the exact pricing model yet. I know I will be charging money for it on Steam, and then I think it will be free on web and Linux as a flat hub. But the goal isn't to make $1 million with the calculator. The calculator is not going to be making us $1 million. The calculator is just something that I really need. I need a good calculator, essentially. So we are starting off with a calculator, because I need one. Yeah, maybe don't show an animation for 69. That might actually, there's a lot of like 18 plus games on Steam. So one could make a DLC like a 18 plus DLC, which adds some themes like that. That could make money. I should investigate that. That might not be a bad idea. So I think those types of games make good money on Steam. So we could have that as a DLC. Yeah. I'm still waiting for this AI. While it's building, let's open up our tasks list again. Just go over the tasks. Okay, so improve UI on small devices. We are still busy on that. Fixing German and Dutch missing. Let's go have a look if that's fixed. Hopefully that is now fixed already. I need to open up my project again. Okay, let's go to settings and then language, German. Okay, so German seems to be fixed. Dutch as well. Let's choose German. Does seem to be working. So now the languages should also show in German, which does seem to be the case. Perfect. So if I were to choose Afrikaans, then those should also show in Afrikaans. Arabic, yes, it's working. Perfect. Okay, let's go back to English. Actually, I think Klingon was missing a few languages. Oh, it's showing the Klingon there. I don't like that. Klingon. Oh, I don't like this. Klingon. Just screenshot this. Go to the chat. Let's just wait for this to finish as well. I'll check the chat quickly here. Serenity says that will make big bucks. I think so too. Must make a DLC where it is an add-on that can help with solving more complex math questions. I cannot find it either, is what Ian is saying. And then Astro says like algebra, trig, and differential equations. So I don't want to put an extra price tag on normal calculator things. So the extra price tag would need to be on extras that's not actually making it a calculator, such as themes, as an example. So the idea here is to actually have like 100 or 1,000 plus different themes. So anyone could have a calculator that looks exactly the way they want it to look. This is the long-term goal here. Okay. This is taking long. Okay, looks like it's done. Implemented the short height graph editor mode and validated it live. The graphing layout now adds a compact expressions keypad switcher. Okay, so it does sound like it did something that we spoke about in the chat. Let's go have a look. I'll refresh the page. Go to graphing. Choose expressions. Ah, okay, that's not bad. Okay, I do like this, I must say. That's looking nice. So how does it look on desktop now? Let's just zoom out here a bit and see how it would look on a bigger screen. Okay, so here it goes back to normal if it's a bigger screen, which is good. Okay, cool. I like it. Perfect. Okay, I don't like this UI here. Let's improve that UI. Wait, I still have my other prompt to fix. Okay, let's go back here. I'll paste the image. Okay. Why is Klingon saying TLH? I want it to say Klingon instead of TLH. Okay. I can use a cheaper model for this. I don't think this is something difficult. Let's go with GPT 5.4 mini. I'll send that. And then at the same time, I need to fix this UI here. So I'll take a screenshot. I'll paste it in on the graphing expressions UI that I've attached. I don't want the text box to have rounded corners on the left side. Please fix it. Okay, let's send that. Astro says 100 themes fitting the Linux identity. I'm also planning to make a bunch of Linux themed games. The first one will be a tic-tac-toe game themed with Linux things in it. I'm going to be making a bunch of like Linux themed games, with the tic-tac-toe one being the first one. And I'll be charging quite cheap for them. I'll be putting them onto Steam and some other places. I don't know how much I'll be charging for them yet, but it will be quite cheap. Nothing expensive. Maybe like 50 South African Rand, which is like 2 or 3 US dollars, perhaps. Well, depending on the game. Some games might be more expensive and some might be cheaper. Serenity says, I see that in desktop mode, the words in the button shrink, making it harder to read. Might just be me being stupid, but I feel that if you fix it, it will make it feel more premium. Okay, so let's just open up the calculator here. This is the actual FlatHub one that I'm opening now that runs natively on Linux. So where do I go? Which buttons exactly do you mean? Okay, I'm gonna make it bigger now for desktop so YouTube Shorts viewers won't see it perfectly. So I'm here in desktop mode right now. Serenity. I see that in desktop mode the words in the button shrink, making it harder to read. So the words do shrink in the button. It just depends on what size it is. Or what do you mean? On your calculator, yes. But I'm not exactly sure what you mean. It might just have looked like a shrink because I was zooming out in the browser. I don't know if that was maybe the case. But the text stays fairly the same if I'm resizing this one here. The font size does not change. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it changes. I'm going to close this for now. Yeah, it might just be the zoom, because zooming in the browser does work a bit different than how it would run natively at that size. So if I were to zoom out here, the text would become smaller, but that's only because I'm physically zooming out the browser. So I'm like almost like moving away from the browser, and thus everything becomes smaller. So I think that's just why it looks like that for you. It's just because I'm viewing it from the browser. But if you check the actual application, if I were to choose the same thing here, make it the same size, roughly the same size, you'll see the actual application one, the text size is not as small if you compare it here. So I think it's just because I'm zooming in on the browser. Okay. Okay, this seems to be done. Let's have a look at what it fixed. Now it looks now. So, perfect. That looks much better. Much more premium. So I were to write here log 60 and press enter. Perfect, perfect. And then if I go here, it shows. Okay. Okay, programmer doesn't look good just yet. Need to improve that. Let's zoom out here just to see what changes and how it looks. Okay. Okay. Oh, this mustn't move above the number. It's not a big issue. Oh, but the buttons got scrambled as well. I think the buttons change if I zoom in too much. Oh yeah, the entire buttons are like completely like ordered incorrectly. Ah, okay. Okay. Okay, let's try to fix that. Where's my chat? Okay. On the programmer mode, the buttons and layout breaks and is not showing correctly on very small screens, like positions of buttons and things are moving to the wrong place. Please make sure that the buttons and layout stays the same on small screens like how it is on desktop screens. Okay, that should fix it. Let's go to GPT 5.4, press send. Serenity says here in the chat, if it changes according to the size of the button, it would be better for me and it will set it apart from other calculators. Astro is saying he's seeing my calculator on Discover Store. If it is on Discover Store, then the AI might have published it by accident. So it shouldn't be here yet. What do I search? Calculator? It's not supposed to be here. Calculator. I have built a FlatHub version of it, but I haven't published it yet. These are just ones other people have made. I did also see this one, Uno Calculator, which is also someone who ported the Windows calculator to Linux as well, but it's not a perfect port. Whereas mine's going to be a perfect port. I don't see it here, so it's not supposed to be here. Just search for result. Yeah, it's not there yet. Oh, you are asking if it is on Discover Store, not saying it is there yet. Yeah, it's not there yet, but it will be on Discover Store soon. One of the tasks that we have for tonight is to basically release a new web version and then also build a new Linux Flatpak version. And then once we have that, then we can start looking into releasing it on the KDE Discover Store. So we're definitely going to be doing that. I have a fandom page, Astro? What do you mean? Like where? What do you mean a fandom page? Cheers, Serenity. Sleep well. I have not forgotten about Delphi Turtle. You'll see here on the vibe coding list. On apps, I have it listed here, Delphi Turtle. So we're definitely going to be touching it and finishing it off. I will not forget. Maybe we do it Thursday night. Then we work on Delphi Turtle, Thursday or Friday night. Because Delphi Turtle is quite close to being finished. I can actually show it here. If I open up Delphi Turtle. So to those who just joined here, Delphi, I have a fandom wiki page. What do you mean I have a fandom wiki page? No way. I just need to look it up here. Fandom Sean result. Okay, I'll look at it later. But here is my Delphi Turtle application. So you can see here that it's basically working already. I have a turtle here. I can do stuff like actually I'll just go to teach me. So we even have a teach me section. Let's make it small for YouTube Shorts. I haven't optimized it for mobile yet, so it might not be perfect, but we have a teaching section where it basically teaches you what Delphi code does what for the turtle. So you can have a look here, and you can even run the code. but I see that's not showing on mobile. Okay, I need to fix that. There's supposed to be a play button here, but I see on small screens the play button is missing. But essentially, you click on the play button. I'll just show it for YouTube Shorts here. If you make it bigger, then eventually you get like a play button, and you can click on the play button to actually run what you are seeing here. So I can like click on this play button, and then it shows the code actually running. And this is not just like a simple Delphi code and you get stuff. It's actually a whole graphics framework. You can even write the whole game in this if you wanted to. But yeah, you basically write Delphi code and then it gives what you ask for it. You can make for loops. You can write actual Delphi code in here basically, and then move a turtle on the screen. That doesn't have to be a turtle. You can even change it to something else, and that's why I say it's like a full graphics engine essentially built in Delphi. It's based on the Python turtle library, and I've actually gone and I've ported the entire the Python turtle library over to Delphi. And even though it's specifically for Delphi, it doesn't have to stay Delphi. The plan is to actually to make it for other languages as well, such as Python, JavaScript, and whatever else I can think of. Maybe we do a PHP one or whatever. So the plan is we're not actually building just one app. We are building a bunch of different apps. Is that is that IRAN version? No, it's not IRAN version. Astro says, you know when you want to go into like the law of something. Let's go look up that fandom page that he's talking about. Oh, I do see this. This thing is ancient. Interesting. Okay, so be it then. Here's the fandom page someone made. I will show it here. How did you even find this? How did you find the fandom? Did you make it? Here's a fandom page about me, apparently. This was, we need to build the programming helper app. I remember that. So Delphi programming helper is an app I built many years ago to learn Delphi, which is me kissing that right there. I think we need to put that onto the list of apps we are going to be building. I want to build a programming helper app similar to that that app you guys said, Serenity and Astro. I forgot the name again, Mimo or something. So we need to make an app. The app will be called Programming Helper. And it's going to be an app where you can learn programming, I think. Yeah, I think we're going to build that eventually as well. Even though people don't really learn programming nowadays, they just learn AI and use AI. But it would be really cool if I can remake this app. Yeah. I think we're gonna do that. I wonder if the app is still available. Let's go have a look. The app isn't available anymore. That's sad. Maybe I can find a screenshot of how it used to look. Delphi Programming Helper. And this is actually one of the first apps I made, like 15 years ago. There we go. I think we'll find some screenshots here. There we go. Okay. So this was the app. You basically open up the application and then you get tutorials, code examples, test papers, and you can like click on different ones and you can see like text tutorials. There was also video tutorials. As you can see here, the video showing how to make a browser in that example. Some code examples. Yeah, so I had a full Delphi programming app. This app was actually used in high schools in South Africa. I think, if I remember correctly, the entire Western Cape. If you took IT as a subject in the Western Cape at some point, they actually gave you my Delphi Programming Helper app and my videos to every student and told them to basically use it and learn from it. There's also a color picker, which eventually evolved into the result developer tools that we also have. And exactly like Astro says, it's basically the idea about Programming Helper is essentially going to be Duolingo but for coding. I think that's something we'll do. Okay, this AI should be done by now. It is done. Good night, Astro and Serenity. if both of you are going to bed. Oh yeah, early 2000s look, definitely. Oh man, you should see my Learn Afrikaans app, Astro. If you're still here, let me show you my Learn Afrikaans app that we're also going to be rebuilding. You can see here on the vibe coding list, we have Learn Afrikaans. Let me show you the original app, because that app I actually built also almost 15 years ago. Let me show you how it used to look. I'm sure I can find it here as well. Let's just go here. Learn Afrikaans with Sean Roosevelt. There we go. There's the app, and there's some screenshots. There you can see the original app. Also early 2000s look. That was the app. So you open the app, you click on Learn Afrikaans, or you click on Quiz or Dictionary or Translate, and you get those pages. There you can see it. So that the idea of this app was actually to have like my own Duolingo, but this was even before Duolingo was out, or at least I didn't know about Duolingo back then. But I was kind of planning and building towards a Duolingo for Afrikaans and other languages. But yeah, I just stopped working on it eventually and never got anywhere. But now with AI, we are going to be rebuilding it, and not just Afrikaans, but also German, Dutch, and many other languages. That's also the plan. And yes, Astro, you should learn Afrikaans, but you guys speak Afrikaans well. You are basically Afrikaans. Baie mooi inderdaad. Okay, let's go back to the calculator and see where we are at. Surely it's done now. Okay, so it's done with the prompt, and let's just double check what the prompt was. So the programmer mode. Let's go see if the programmer mode is looking better. Okay, it does look better. The buttons are in the correct order. Okay, definitely looking better. Not perfect yet, but definitely looking better. Let's just make sure it is actually refreshing and showing the correct one. It does seem like it is. Let's zoom out and see if it's still looking good as I zoom out. So far, so good. Okay, perfect. That's looking good. Okay, now it's not looking so good, but I think it looks better on the actual calculator. Obviously, I'm using a browser. Let's just have a look how it looks on the bigger one, just to make sure. Programmer. Okay, it does look better here. Perfect. Okay, these buttons are still overlapping. I don't want them to overlap, so I will quickly try and fix that. Yeah, okay, let's start by fixing that. I'll take a screenshot, go back to AI. I'll say here the buttons on the programmer mode are currently overlapping. I don't want them to overlap. Please fix like how we fixed it on the standard and scientific modes. Okay, what else do I need to do? Date calculation. Okay, that looks fine. I'm just giving it some testing to make sure it's working well. Oh, so currency is broken on small screens. Need to fix that. I just need to test how it looks on. Actually, let's send this prompt, and then we'll come back to fixing these ones. Send that. Okay, so currency is broken. I need to first check how it looks currently on the app. Currency. Okay, so it does look better on the app, but I do see it starting to get messed up once you go smaller. Cheers, Astro. Sleep well. Thank you for joining the chat. I might be on this weekend. So Astro in the chat is talking about playing Counter-Strike. Well, I'm assuming you are talking about Counter-Strike, because normally we play Counter-Strike on weekends, unless you mean being on in terms of vibe coding, because I'm also going to be vibe coding over the weekend. I'm basically going to be vibe coding every night. That's the plan, at least. But I might also play Counter-Strike. I'll see if I have time, to be honest. Is anyone in the chat or viewers watching this on YouTube Shorts? If you are, please type in the chat and let me know how it's looking, because I'm supposed to be streaming to YouTube Shorts as well, but I can't find the YouTube Short. So I don't know if it is actually streaming to YouTube Shorts, to be honest. But it's showing me here that I am. If I open up the stream, you can see here it's showing me streaming on desktop as well as YouTube Shorts. But I can't find the YouTube Shorts, so I don't know. It's weird. Okay, we need to fix this calculator, the currency converter on mobile, because it doesn't look great right now, to be honest. Okay, I have an idea of what we can do. I think if we are on a small height, then the buttons can move to the right. I think that might be something we can do. Okay, I think I have an idea here. Let's go to the Hello app. We say here for the well, let's just see if all converters are like this. So if I go to volume, yeah, they all are a bit messed up. Okay, so for the converter modes, they look horrible on very small screens. Can you make it look better on small screens? If the height is very small but there is space in the width, then move the buttons to the right side, and just overall make it look better on mobile and very small screens. And I just want to see when it starts breaking. Yeah, it breaks quite early already. I don't want any buttons to overlap with text or vice versa. Yeah, let's start by sending that, I think. Let me look at the chat here. I think we are close to releasing a new version. It's finally starting to become and look a bit more stable, which is good. I'll go to tasks. Let's just see. Okay, improve UI on small devices. I'm still busy on that. Fixing German and Dutch missing. We have fixed some of that. I just want to make sure it's better now. So if I type in Klingon, that seems to be fixed. Perfect. If I type in German, perfect. If I type in Afrikaans and click Afrikaans, I should see the languages in Afrikaans. Perfect. So if I search for Klingon, okay, search for German, perfect. Can I search Afrikaans? I can. Okay. If I were to choose, let's say, Japanese, okay, showing in Japanese, and okay, perfect. So the languages are also showing in Japanese, which is exactly what I wanted. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Why is there one QC and what's this? It's not perfect just yet, it seems. QUC, what's QUC? I think it messed up some languages. Let's just Google here what is QUC. I'll go to Bing. I'm using Bing because I get the Microsoft rewards. What is QUC language? Oh, Kisha. Okay. So that used to work, but it seems like it broke. Okay. QUC language shouldn't show that. It should show. Okay, no problem, Ian. I don't know why I can't find YouTube Shorts, even though the YouTube Studio is showing me that it is streaming on Shorts. But yeah, I can't find it either. So I don't know exactly where it's streaming it from or how it works. Not gonna worry too much about it. Maybe at some point someone types in the chat they are viewing from YouTube Shorts. Okay. It should show Kisha like it did before. Just trying to fix the languages here because it has broken at some point. SCU. Same for the SCU language. I wonder if the calculator remembers the language that I choose. I think we need to test that as well. Sure, it's raining quite hard here now again. And looks like my Visual Studio Code is a bit frozen. That's worrisome. Oh no, it's not. Okay. Let's test that out. So I've set it to Japanese. If I refresh, it stays Japanese. Okay, so that seems to be working, at least. Let's send this message. Okay, thanks Ian. I appreciate it for checking. If it's not there, then it's not there. I don't know. But thank you for checking. I appreciate it. Ian is also a vibe coder. Ian has built some pretty cool stuff in the chat. Maybe someday I'll bring him onto the stream and then he can show some cool stuff that he has also built. He's a vibe coder at heart. Okay, let's see what else we need to do on the calculator while the prompt is busy going. Okay, improve theme selector on very small screens. Yes, we need to improve that. I think we should release a new version before we improve that. Programmer mode needs consistent UI on mobile. Okay, that we have improved already. Let's just go back to a different language. Let's go to Pirate. Ship settings. Okay, let's go to Programmer 1. So it added a scroll bar here because it didn't fit apparently, I'm guessing. Okay. I guess it's okay. It could have made the buttons a bit smaller, I think, to get it to fit instead of adding a scroll bar. I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna ask it to do that. Yeah. Okay, let's just go back to a normal language. Go back to English. I'll then take a screenshot here. Like so. Go to hello. For the programmer mode on the screenshot in that size, it currently has a scroll bar. I would prefer for that specific size that the buttons height rather goes smaller and everything fits on the screen instead of adding a scroll bar. The scroll bar should only be there as a last resort on the pages if nothing can truly fit at all. Okay, everyone, it's raining quite hard here, so there is a chance that my stream might just stop either because I lose internet connection or because electricity goes off. One of those two reasons. So if I just disappear, that's exactly why. Ian, who was also in the chat, will have the same issue as well. He's also in South Africa, so he knows the struggle. South Africa, like the entire South Africa, is struggling with power. We have like random power cuts that just happens, and then the power is just off. Obviously you can get solar, but solar is expensive in South Africa, so most people don't have solar. And the power utility is just horrible here, so randomly you would just not have power for many hours per day. I'm going to be drinking some water out of my big 5-liter jug. Jug. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Okay, the AI is going. It's fixing the languages for us now. So far, we have had almost 300 viewers that has visited the stream, which is quite cool. Thank you for everyone who watched and joined. Very much appreciated. And to those still watching, welcome and thank you. It says we currently have 5 viewers. Are there any vibe coders here in the chat? What are you guys busy building, if you are building anything? Right now we are busy building a calculator, but not just any calculator. We are busy building the best calculator. I'm using Linux on Steam OS, on Steam Deck, and for myself there isn't any good Linux calculators, and that's why for the first app we are building a calculator, because I need a better calculator, quite frankly. And I really like the Windows calculator, so the aim is to rebuild the Windows calculator. But once we are done with the calculator, we have a bunch of other apps that we are planning to make. Like you can see right here, we are planning a bunch of applications. If anyone has any suggestions for applications or games to build, feel free to list it in the comments and we can definitely build it. I'm here to build anything. It's not just a matter of making $1 million. This is mostly just the almost clickbait, but the goal is not just to make $1 million. It's also to make cool stuff, essentially, and play with AI and learn AI better. And while doing that, hopefully we'll make some money. Okay, let's see how the AI is doing. Still going. Okay, so it looks like it says it fixed the language. So let's go test that out. Go to settings. So in theory, that key one should now be fixed. What was it? SCO is now Scots. Okay, perfect. That one is fixed. And then the other one was QUC. QUC is now showing Kisha. Okay, perfect. So that is now fixed. It would be quite cool if I can search for a language in that language, even if I'm not in that language. Like as example, in Afrikaans, German is dates. It would be nice if I can just type in dates and it would actually find German. I wonder if we could add that. Not now, but something to think about, I think. Okay, programmer now looks much better on small screens as well. Okay, so we got standard, looking great. We got scientific, looking great. We got graphing, looking great. Programmer, looking great. Date calculation, looking great. Currency, looking great. Okay, perfect. Now we're getting somewhere. Volume, okay. Now all of them are looking great, I think. I'm not going to test all of them, but it's looking good. So what happens if I now make this even smaller? Okay, then we get a scroll bar, and we do have some text overlapping. So there is still some work to do here. Let's add this here. Okay, let's type here on very small screens for the converter modes. When it gets a vertical scroll bar, some of the text is overlapping with the buttons. Please, the buttons, as can be seen in the attached screenshot. Please fix that. Okay, let's give it that prompt and see if we can fix that fast. Okay, so the programming one should now be perfect as well, is what the AI says. It does look much better. We are very close to making a new release, I think. Okay, settings looking good. Okay. I think I want to get rid of this theme text here, language text here. Let's do that as well. Get rid of the theme and language text right above the drop downs on the settings page. I don't think I need a high model for this, so I can use something cheaper like GPT 5.4 mini, and I'll send that. Oh, I just steered it. I shouldn't have steered it. Wait, I gotta cancel that. Did it do it? No, I think the steering didn't go through. Okay, perfect. Let's try again. Okay. Please remove the... Well, I guess I shouldn't actually say please, because it's just wasting tokens. Remove the themes and language text above the drop downs on the settings page. Okay, let's cue that. Hell yeah, brother! Okay, this is looking nice. Make it smaller. That still has some problems. Okay, let's go to the tasks. I think we need to add more tasks. Okay, so German and Dutch missing, that's fixed. Improve UI on small devices, almost fixed. Well, I think we're going to be marking that one off soon. Let's see how far it is actually. There, it's fixed. Okay, I'm happy. Let's mark this one then as done. We still need to improve the theme selector on very small screens, but I'm going to leave that for now. Program mode needs more consistent UI on mobile. We have fixed that already. Point URL, make website, make sure all themes look good. Okay, so we still have a few things to do, but we are getting there. Okay, now it's gone. There needs to be some space above the dark drop down, I think. Let's just type here. I'll just add a hover. Please make sure that the space at the top of the drop down for themes and languages are the same as the space on the other sides. I don't want the drop down to be touching the accordion part at the top. Okay, let's send that. Hey, brother. Okay, making good progress. Let's test some random ones. Make it smaller, see how it is. Okay, perfect. Perfect. If I just typing something random here, seconds goes into history. Very nice. It's shaping up to be a very good calculator. The best, if I may say. Soon. Okay. I think it's time to start thinking about building a new Flatpak version and Windows EXE version as well. That's looking good. Okay, I'm pretty happy about that. Let's commit our code. This is going to be a massive commit. Just want to make sure we don't commit nonsense in here. Logo, yada yada. This I don't need, that I can discard. Okay, well, I want this actually. Gonna make one more quick change here. I don't need a paid model, I can use a free model for this one. For the Kirgi language, don't know how you say this, Kishi, I have no idea, Kishay, who knows, I have no idea. But for the Kishi language, show Kishi, okay, that's good. Let's send that. Okay, showcase. Just checking what changes we have made here. Okay, let's just let AI decide what to commit. Don't think I want to be too much involved. Ian says he's building an appetite. Very nice, Ian. What are you having for your evening food? What is your plan? I have an app idea that we need to make as well, so I'm going to be adding that to the apps list. I want to make, so I have a boy which is still the toddler. I want to make an app that parents can use to track what their baby is doing, like when the baby poops and sleeps and all that. I'll just call it a baby tracker app for now, but the idea is to track poop. We can't track peaks actually. Track poop, feeding, sleeping, etc. Okay. Then I think, what else can we make? Okay, I think that's fine for now, but I want to make something like that. Baby food ideas app. I want to make an app also to give parents ideas of what kind of food they can give to a baby at different stages, because usually a baby can't just immediately eat all kinds of foods. They have to like build up to certain foods, and at different ages they can eat different kinds of food. So I think having a baby food ideas app would be quite nice. And then parents basically get the app and they can see exactly at what age what the babies can eat, and then also give them ideas of how they can make that kind of food for the baby. Maybe we don't make this, it's just an idea. This is basically an ideas markdown file. It might end up that we don't make any of these ones even, which is unlikely, but yeah, it's just an ideas. So if anyone has any ideas for an app or game or website or anything, feel free to post in the comments and we might end up making it. It would also be cool to have some kind of pregnancy tracker. I just have to give it some thought quickly. I don't. There's so many pregnancy tracker apps already, I'm sure. What can I do to be different and be better? I'm gonna leave that one for now. Okay, let's head back to the AI and see how it's doing. Okay, so it's done here. So let's just double check that it did actually do what we asked it to do. So go to settings, language. I'll just paste that in. I don't have it in my clipboard. Darn it. Okay, what's it? Kishi something. I'm not gonna find that. It's okay. Let's let AI generate a commit message for us, and then we'll commit it. And need to make sure it can work offline as well. We'll get to that. Okay, let's add theme showcase page with live previews and language support. Okay, that's fine. Let's commit and push. Okay, now when I do a commit and push, it's also actually starting a GitHub action, which will in turn publish a new version of the website for us as well. So soon we'll have a new website version live. But while that's going live, I want to make sure here, I'm going to make a new prompt. Let's start a new chat here, actually. I'll just type hello again. I'll close this one. Close others. What's this? Get away. Okay. Okay, let's start the GPT 5.4 prompt and we'll ask a few things here. But first, let's just say, please, just checking, this app should be able, you should be able to run this app without an internet connection and completely offline. Please check that you can. So I don't want to be using any CDNs. Are we currently using any CDNs? CDN. Okay, so we are using some CDNs. And want to be using any CDNs if possible. Okay, let's start by setting that, and then we're going to add some more stuff into it. Also, please build a new Windows exe and Linux flat hub for me. And then I need to uninstall the one I currently have. So I'll just go uninstall. Let's just go here. Then I want to go to installed, and then somewhere here should be my calculator. Perfect. I'm going to delete it. I think that's it. And Linux flat hub for me. Also install the flat hub once you've made it. Okay, think that's good. Let's just press enter and let it cook. Let's go to our tasks. Okay, I think we just released a new web version that should be live already. Let me go have a look. Okay, this will not look nice for people on YouTube Shorts. So sorry about that. Okay, so the calculator is not showing. Oh, it's just loading. Okay, that's fine. Seems good. Go to settings. Seems good. Perfect. Okay. Then a task that we have here was to point URL to calculator.apps.seanlazelle.com. So we need to change the URL and we need to make a website for apps.seanlazelle.com as well. I want to have a page somewhere where people can just find like a grid or something showing all of the apps that I have. So that's the idea. So I think let's go to GitHub and do some work towards that. I'll position this in the middle just for YouTube Shorts. Actually, I'm not gonna worry too much about YouTube Shorts. If you're watching from YouTube Shorts, then I apologize. So the GitHub commit actually says Sean Result and Copilot, which is quite interesting. It didn't used to say and Copilot yet. That's a new addition to it. So let's just have a look here. I think that's a new setting that you can actually turn off because I don't want it to say Copilot there. Even though I'm not ashamed of using AI, I just don't like seeing that there. Let's just what do I say? Copilot, manage Copilot commit. How do I say that? Want to find like Copilot settings. Copilot, manage GitHub Copilot coverages. Let's just show extensions. Let's just click anyone. I think anyone. GitHub Copilot. Let's just Google here on the side quickly. Just trying to see how we can turn that off. Chat. And why is it not showing me settings? How do I get to the all the Copilot settings? Because that's what I actually want to get to. Chat settings. Oh, it might be this. Okay. Is there like a commit? No. Git. Global auto approve. So to those who are just joining here, I'm just trying to figure out, so when you commit a message on GitHub via GitHub Copilot, then it says here Sean Result and Copilot. Now I don't want it to say and Copilot. I think it's a setting that you can turn off in VS Code. So I'm just trying to find that setting right now. Well, I think I know how to find it because it's a recent addition to the GitHub Copilot. So I think if I were to go to Visual, I don't know if it's GitHub Copilot specifically or Visual Studio Code, but I just want to go to Visual Studio Code's website, VS Code, and then I think from here I go to updates. Then somewhere here, I think I'll see it. Commit. Here we go. Okay. GitHub Copilot added as a Git co-author by default. This is what I'm looking for. Git.add AI co-author. Okay. Git.add AI. So I'm looking for Git.add AI co-author. I'm not seeing that. How do I actually get to this? Ah, there we go. Okay, so this I want to say off. Okay, that should be good now. Apply settings, setting to all profiles. Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, this is still building, which is fine. Welcome to all the new viewers. I see we have 4 concurrent viewers. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you guys watching. Do we have any vibe coders in the chat? What are you guys busy building? What we are currently building is a calculator for Linux, but not just Linux, for actually cross-platform. But obviously I am using the Steam Deck, and the Steam Deck is running on SteamOS, which is based on Linux. And Linux doesn't have any good calculators, and so therefore we are rebuilding the Windows calculator, but for Linux. Obviously a calculator won't make us $1 million, but it's a stepping stone. It's us getting our feet wet into vibe coding, and I need a calculator, so we are building a calculator. While this prompt is going, I'm gonna drink some water again. Maybe also go to the bathroom. Okay, I think this prompt is going to take a while. So while that's busy going, I'm going to head to the bathroom, I think. And then I will be back very soon. How can I turn off the camera? There we go. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Be right back. Or I could actually leave the camera on as well. Then you guys can see the bed here. This is actually the spare bedroom that we have. I'm using the spare bedroom right now to record my videos. Okay, I shall be back. Welcome back, chat. I see the AI is still busy going. I think it's going to take a while, but that's perfectly fine. We have all the time in the world. I see Nico joined the chat. Hello, no vibe coder here. Just try to play with local models for now. Okay, very cool. What are you currently playing with or doing, Nico? Any cool stuff? And Ian says he had 2 sandwiches and 2 lemons for dinner. Very nice, Ian. I had some pasta for dinner. Pasta la vista. While we have some time here waiting for the AI and only 3 viewers, I'm quickly gonna open up the stream on my phone and just see how the quality looks, because obviously I don't have perfect internet. I have quite bad internet actually, so I'm just curious to see like how the quality looks. I'll be right back. Okay, the quality doesn't look too bad on the stream actually. Even on my phone with, what quality is this, with 480p, it looks quite good actually. So I am happy. Nico says, got a DGX Spark, is good, 1 run, Quen 3.6 on it. It worked pretty nice, but still Nvidia is back on driver and got a lot of limitations with the hardware. Okay. I haven't ran any local models yet to be honest, but I am very much keen to do so in the future. Especially considering the cost of models just keep going up and up and up. Claude and OpenAI and all of them, they're just charging more and more and more. It just keeps getting more and more expensive. But I'll need to get a good computer to obviously run them on then. Need to get a good GPU as well. But I think that would be quite cool to have a local model as well. Where do you live, Nico? Where are you from? I'm just scanning the AI response here and seeing what it's busy doing. Yeah, I think it's going to take a while. So I basically asked the AI, for those who just joined, we've just finished adding lots of new features and stuff and bug fixes onto the calculator, and now I want to build a new version of it. So first I asked it to make sure that it can run offline without internet connection, and then I also asked it to build a new Windows EXE and Linux Flat Hub for me. And then once it's done building the Linux Flat Hub, also install it, because I'm using Linux. Obviously I can install it myself, but why if an AI can just do it for me, you know? So that's just what I'm asking here. Because we have been testing it in this small browser here that I accidentally just, this one, we've been testing it in this small browser here. I wonder if I can set a default zoom for the browser instead of having to zoom out the whole time. A default zoom would be quite nice to have. It doesn't seem like I can set that. That's unfortunate. Show in title bar controls whether the integrated browser. Yeah, don't want that. Nah, doesn't look like it. Page zoom, wait. Default zoom level for all sites in the integrated browser. Ah, okay. So that we can possibly change. Let's make it like 75% as an example. So if I were to now refresh, 75%. Okay, very nice. That does make my life a bit easier. Although 75% is a bit small. I would rather go for like 90% perhaps. Yes, that's better. Okay, perfect. That would help a lot. It might be a bit small for YouTube Shorts, I think. If anyone is watching from YouTube Shorts, let me know how it looks. But I think it's better. Wait, what was the default? Match window size. Maybe I should just do 100%. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna keep it on 100%. That doesn't look too bad then. I can still see whatever. Yes, this is much better. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna keep it on 100% then for now. I'm even tempted to make it bigger, to be honest. Like 110%. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna keep it on this for now. So I need it to be big enough for YouTube Shorts to still see. I just want to test 125% actually as well. 125% isn't too bad either. Is that not what we had actually? If I set it to match window. No, so this was much smaller. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I think we're gonna keep it on 125% then. That's looking nice. Okay, Nico says, let me share an API for you to make some tests. Tell me if your LinkedIn is okay. LinkedIn is perfect. That would be very awesome, Nico. I would very much appreciate that. You're a legend, Nico. Thank you very much. I'll be more than willing to make some tests. That'll be cool. Actually, I think what we should do also for one of the apps we're going to be building is we should build a benchmarking app where we show benchmarks for different AI models. I think that would be quite cool to have as well. Would it be an app or a website to just view the benchmarks? Let's say here we're going to be building a AI model benchmark website. Okay, we'll get into specifics later and make a plan, but for now I think having a benchmark website would be quite cool, where we can give different models the exact same prompt and then record the results and then publish the results on the website to see for everyone. That would be quite cool and quite useful. I think a gaming benchmark would be quite cool to like give it certain prompts to make certain games, and then every time a new model comes out, we immediately throw it that exact same prompt and see if the new model does it better than the prior models. And we can also compare how different models make the game, the exact same prompt, the exact same game. Yes, now we've got a plan. We're getting some cool ideas here. Okay, this AI model is still going. Sure, it's going to take a while, which is fine. We got time. Let's see what changes it has made here. So change index. Okay, so these ones we're using CDNs, which it changed now. That's for fonts and stuff from Google. Okay, so if it's not getting it from there, where is it getting it from? That's the real question. Okay, so it's changing some of the stuff in the Flatpak builder. Don't know what it's doing. I'm just vibe coding. Startup. Okay, so it removed the CDN there. What is Nerddamer? I've never heard about Nerddamer. Let's just Google that, just out of curiosity. Well, actually, I can ask AI. Let me ask AI here on the side. What is Nerddamer? Let's see what it says. Okay, Nico says done. You can burn tokens, no limits is beta anyway for test. Thank you very much, Nico. I will definitely take a look. I don't think we'll take a look tonight, but I will definitely take a look. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You're a legend. Where are you from, Nico? Where do you live? Okay, so it says here that Nerddamer, short answer. Nerddamer is an open source JavaScript symbolic math library, runs in browsers and Node.js for doing symbolic algebra and calculus. Okay, so I see. So just a library that is using for stuff like this. Okay, makes sense. If you want, I can show how to install it. Nah, we are good. Thank you for the response. Perfect response. Okay. Let's see what else it has done here. Landing. Okay, so it did actually download the fonts and then added it locally, which is good. Assets fonts. We still got the Klingon font that's here. I'm gonna make a follow-up prompt, I think. Wait, I'll wait for that. Doesn't have to be right now. Okay, themes, making some theme changes. Also same thing there, okay. Okay, perfect. Very good. It looks like it's done. Remaining network feature, the currency converter still attempts live exchange rate refresh, but it already falls back offline and does not block startup. If you want truly zero runtimes network calls, I can remove that next. Okay, no. The currency converter will need to use internet to get the latest currency exchange rates. That's fine. We just need that. It's something that has to happen. Okay, let's see if it has built a new flat hub for me and installed it. So I'm opening up KDE Discover. I'm going to install it, and in theory, I should see an option here that says result calculator now. Okay, so these are all the apps that I have installed. And do we have a result calculator? Let's scroll down. Result calculator, there it is. The logo is not showing though. Need to look into that. But it does seem like it's here, unknown author. Okay, so we still have some stuff to sort out, but we can launch it. And it's launching, and there we go. We got a native Linux calculator. I said native, but native meaning it's an app and not running in the browser. Obviously, it's not truly native, but good enough, good enough. Okay, I already see some issues. Like if I hover on this, it's quite small, but if I hover on this, there's like, let's see if we have the same issue in the actual browser one. Go to settings. We do. So if we hover here, notice the corners top left and top right. The hover effect is actually like going out of the borders, like outside the actual container. So I need to fix that. I'll take a screenshot. Wait, before I fix that, I need to commit my code now. So I'm curious. I want to test something as well. For the prior commit, it added Copilot here in the commit. I'm curious if we can ask the AI to change the prior commit and remove Copilot. Let's test that. I'm quite curious to see. So it goes back to hello. With the prior commit that we made, it added Copilot as a co-author. Can you remove Copilot as a co-author? Let's see what it does. With a prior commit, I'm going to say A because I'm going to make a new commit. Let's say with some prior commits that we made, it added Copilot as a co-author. Okay, let's commit and push that, and then let's send this message and see if it can actually remove that. Yeah, I don't think we need a very strong model. I think using a cheaper one should be fine. Let's send it. Ireland. So Nico is from Ireland, but I am from Greece. No dev knowledge, just a simple cloud engineer. Okay, that's very cool. Well, Nico, since you are in Ireland but you are from Greece, the calculator that I built actually has Greek in it. Ta-da! So I've translated it fully to Greek, as you can see. Does that look good, in your opinion? Does it look accurate? I'm going to switch back to English though, because obviously I don't speak Greek. And I will also enable my favorite theme, which is the terminal theme. There we go. Okay, what is Copilot doing? Okay, so it looks like Copilot did find the prior commits. Oh, it's saying rewrite. Oh, that's rewriting a lot of ones. Now I'm scared of what it's doing. Oh, I'm quite scared. Oh, what's it doing? Oh. Okay. Okay. I'm still scared. Okay, I still see all of my commits. I do see the Copilot is gone. No, Copilot is still here on that one. Okay. So it hasn't actually done anything just yet. Okay, one older commit still has the trailer, so I'm reading that exact message and stripping the line from the remaining match too. The remaining trailer uses a different Copilot email alias, so I'm doing one broader parse over main to remove any line that starts with that co-author prefix. That's not exactly what I want, but sure. Let's see what it does. And Nico says that the Greek language looks perfect. Thank you, Nico. That's awesome. So I think, if I remember correctly, I added a total of 103 different languages into the application. So it has quite a few different languages, as you can see here. And I think most, if not all of them, should be mostly translated and working. And I also added some almost Easter egg languages, such as Klingon, as you can see, and I've also added Pirate, as you can see. I wonder if there's any other languages that we can add that's like Easter egg languages. Does anyone have any suggestions? That would be quite cool if we can add some other ones. Can't think of any, but it would be quite cool. Okay, I removed every Copilot co-author trailer from the local main history. Okay, let's sync this with remote. Let's see what happens. I'm just reading some of the chat messages here. Nico, is there any reason why you are playing with the local models? Like, what is your end goal? What are you aiming towards? Or is it just a matter of playing? There's no goal or anything. Just want to experience it and see how it is. Okay, so it looks like it's synced. So if I go back to GitHub and I refresh, let's see if it worked. Oh, that's pretty cool. So it was able to change a previous commit and remove the Copilot from it. That's quite interesting. Okay. Okay, it's busy deploying as well. I have a GitHub action setup that would basically publish my website once it's been published. So I'm refreshing here, and then we should have a new web version as well. Okay, so now we should have a new web version. Let's refresh the page and see if we do. Okay, I've seen this where it sometimes starts off as just a black screen. Don't know why. Need to sort it out though. Unable to load no demo from local package. Okay. But if I refresh again couple of times, and sometimes it works almost. I need to sort this out. I will get back to it. Nico says, while I play and learn to do that with public models, I need €200 per day almost, so I buy hardware and do it local to skip those limitations and work 24/7 with agents. Okay, that's very cool. Yeah, agents are expensive, man. Especially if you just play with it and test with it, you can like burn a lot of money very quickly. Very expensive. Like even now, I have the highest tier of GitHub Copilot, and the few prompts that we did in the past 3 hours, we have used about 3% of my total usage that I have. Yeah, we actually used exactly 3% because I was on 9% when this video started. So we've used about 3% just making these few prompts here. So it's expensive, and the thing is, it's about to get even more expensive because GitHub announced like a week ago that from next month the multipliers are going to be even more expensive. So if you click on this button here, let me just move my camera away, or let me move this up here. So if you click on this button here in GitHub Copilot, then you can actually choose what model you want to use. And each model has a multiplier attached to it. Like you can see, Claude Opus 4.7 is 15x. But basically what this means is that for so I get a certain amount of requests that I can do per month, or prompts that I can do. But it's not exactly like I do one Opus 4.7 prompt and that's one prompt. The way it works is if I do a GPT 5.4 prompt, it takes one prompt. If I do a Opus 4.7 prompt, it actually takes 15 prompts. So Opus 4.7, as an example, is 15 times more expensive than GPT 5.4. Now, from next month, they've changed the model. From next month, all of these pricings will change. So as an example, GPT 5 Mini is currently free. It's 0, so it doesn't actually take any prompts, meaning I can do infinite GPT 5 Mini prompts. But starting next month, the prompt for this one is actually going to change. I think it's going to be 0.33 as an example. And GPT 5.4 is going to be, I think, 6 or 7. And Claude Opus 4.7 is going to be like 20 or something. So it's just getting more and more expensive. They're just upping the prices the whole time. But also, currently, if you check the thumbnail for this video, you'll see we have an ARR showing on it. But it's currently showing in the negative, so ARR 2,100, meaning I've already spent that much money. So we are currently in the negative, on the way to $1 million. But once we start breaking even again, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be buying right here, yeah, Claude Code or a OpenAI Codex subscription, because currently I'm paying for GitHub Copilot. But obviously many people as well as myself want to play with and see Codex and Claude Code. So the plan is to get these two packages as quickly as we can. And then the fun starts, essentially. That's one of our first goals, is to get enough money for this. Now, obviously the calculator is not going to make us that much money. But I need to get the calculator. And once the calculator is done, then I have two applications that will hopefully make us money. The first one is the QR code generator. I have made quite a bit of progress on this one already before I started streaming. It's partly vibe coded, but partly also just myself coded. But going forward, it's going to be fully vibe coded. Well, I say vibe coded, it wasn't actually vibe coded, it was just coded with AI assistance. But going forward, it's going to be fully vibe coded. So we have this one. And then we also have the upcoming Delphi Turtle, which is almost done as well, that we will also be charging money for. Now, I don't think this one's going to make a lot of money, to be honest. Almost nothing. But I will be charging for it. I think this one might be the real money maker. We are going to be building the best QR code generator that exists. Or that's the goal, at least. Whether we do it or not, we'll see. But that's the plan, to build the best QR code generator. Now, see, Nico's plan is to work 80% with local model and 20% with external LLM to fix everything. Okay. I see. Can you guys understand my accent like perfectly, or how is it? Because obviously I have quite a thick accent, an Afrikaans accent. How is it for you guys? sometimes I can't even understand myself. Like I would record a video or just voice note in English, and then if I listen to my own voice note, I can barely understand myself. So if I can't even understand myself, how the hell are you guys understanding me? But if it works, it works, you know. Okay, we need to move on. Let's start by testing the Flatpak that we just built. While we're testing this, let's ask a question here. How can I publish this as a Flatpak and have it available on KDE Discover? Okay. Let's ask that question so long, and while that's going, I'm going to be testing this. Make sure the themes are working. Okay. Themes drop down is working. I can choose different themes. That's working. Terminal perfect. What happens if I close the app and open the app again? Will it remember what theme I had? That's a good question. Let's test that. So it's supposed to open up the terminal theme now. Click on it. Okay, it does remember my theme, which is good news. Great news, actually. Go to settings. It doesn't remember where I had the app. I think that might be difficult to implement because it's kind of dependent on the window manager and compositor or things like that in terms of where the window opens on Linux. It's a bit different. Okay, let's test the language. If I were to choose Afrikaans, close the app, open the app again, and it remembered my language. Perfect. Okay, let's go back to English. Okay, the one thing I want is I need to be able to make the app smaller, but I can't make it smaller. So let's start there. But let's just first read what it says here. I'll add a short plan, then give concise publishing steps and commands. Okay, Nico says, will not issue at all for me. That's perfect news. Thank you, Nico. Yeah, one of my worries, Nico, with these videos were that people might struggle to understand me because of my accent. But if you can understand it, then perfect. Because English is my second language. But I do speak it every day, but I speak it amongst people who also have a similar accent or hear accents like mine often. Okay, let's have a look. How do we publish apps on KDE Discover? To appear in KDE Discover, publish the Flatpak to a remote. Discover knows Flatpak is recommended. FlatHub builds and hosts a Flatpak. Discover shows automatically when the FlatHub remote is enabled. Steps high level. Audit. Ensure and yada 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 contain complete app stream metadata, icons, categories, and license. Okay. Test locally. Prepare PR. Fork the FlatHub repo and add a new app directory containing the manifest and any extra sources referenced by it. Okay, follow FlatHub submission guidelines and include a short rationale in the PR. Okay, submit and iterate. Open a PR to FlatHub. Address reviewer comments, metadata, runtime permissions. After merge, FlatHub CI builds and publishes your app. Once published, KDE Discover with FlatHub enabled will show it. Okay. Build locally. Okay. Okay, runtime, use an appropriate runtime. Okay, I'm going to type here then for the AI. Do everything except the last step to actually publish it, but do everything else so long. Okay, let's send that. Okay, So we might even be publishing a flat hub version tonight. I see it's quite late already. It's almost midnight, and I have to wake up in about 5 hours from now. So I might end the stream quite soon. I'm surprised that the internet or power hasn't gone off yet. I actually thought that the stream might have ended already by now. But it hasn't, which is good news. Okay. Nico says, work with Indians for about 3 years. It was the core test for me. After this, everything is okay except the old farmers here in Ireland. Yeah, I've heard the Irish accent. It's quite a thick accent as well. If you're not used to it, it might also be difficult to understand. I'm just busy checking some stats here on the side. YouTube is still telling me that my bitrate is too low, that the quality might be bad, but people are saying that the quality is fine, so I don't know. I don't trust YouTube. And then it also still says I'm streaming on YouTube Shorts, but no one is able to find my YouTube Shorts. So I don't know. Don't trust what YouTube is telling me here. Okay, while this is busy going, I think I want to start fixing some more issues, specifically this issue we had here. So I'm going to take a screenshot. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go to hello and add it in here. When I hover on an accordion, notice that the hover effect is going outside of the container, top right and top left. Please fix that. Okay, then what else do we have here that is an issue? Just testing some random things. These buttons, yes, those buttons need to be fixed. Okay. Then also the units buttons in the graphing options pop up cuts off some of the button text if there isn't space. Make sure the width of the options pop-up is big enough for the buttons to fit, but for buttons to contain all the text, the options pop-up should not be outside or bigger than the page though. Let's just say that. Okay, let's cue this. Okay, while that's going, I'm gonna go to the tasks.md file and see what we still have to do. Okay, we did release a new web version. So I'm going to change this to test the new web version. Okay, flat app. Okay, make sure it can work offline. Point URL, make sure thing. Okay, just some low hanging fruits here, but I think we are making very good progress. Let's test the web version again. Okay, so it still gives this error here. Let's just test it in a private tab and see if we have the same error here as well. A private tab has the exact same error. So something is not working correctly here. Okay, let's give this to add to some AI and ask it to fix it, essentially. And see if it can fix it. Okay. Okay, so it has made quite a few stuff here as well. Flat Hub submission. This repository now includes a Flat Hub ready manifest at this location. What is prepared? The manifest uses org.electron.js.electron2.base app instead of copying a local built Electron bundle. The app runtime no longer depends on node modules for NerdDamer. It uses the vendor file at that location. AppStream metadata includes screenshots, a richer description, and release information suitable for KDE Discover and FlatHub. The source archive URL and screenshot URLs are pinned to commit. Okay. Local validation. Yada yada yada. Build a FlatHub style. Yada yada yada. What to do later when you actually submit. Fork. Create in that repo from that. If you cut a release tag first, update the manifest URL. Open a PR against the new PR branch. Address any FlatHub review comments. Then merge when ready. Okay. Cool. Let's do a commit. See, we have a notice here as well. What's this notice for? Okay, add FlatHub submission documentation and manifest for calculator. Where's all the changes? I don't know. Let's have a look at the manifest. I'm not going to look into it in too much detail. I just kind of want to just scroll it and see. Socket fallback X11 socket Wayland. Simple. I think it's actually doing commits for me. I don't want it to do commits. Is it committing as well? Ah, it's actually doing commits as well. That's interesting. Refactor, remove unused font links. Okay, very cool. Okay, how far are we doing queued? Okay, we're making some good progress. Let's refresh here and see if it published a new version yet. Okay, perfect, it has. Let's open it up and see if the error is gone. Okay, perfect, there's no more console errors. But the calculator that doesn't immediately show it, which is worrisome. Yeah, see, it does show, but it takes way too long to show. I don't know why it's taking so long. I need to fix that. So if I go to a new tab, new browser tab, and I enter this, right? Still showing that. Why? Okay, wait, let's close some tabs here. Private tab. I'll close it. I'll make a brand new private tab. I'll paste it in. Open the. Okay. Why? Okay, I know people watching on YouTube Shorts can't see everything. Oh, but I see there's 0 viewers, so yeah, it takes very long to load. Why? Let's go to the network tab and try to figure out why it's actually taking long. I think that might be what we should be doing. I'm going to open up a brand new private tab. Open up the network tab. and then go to the website. And let's see what's actually taking long. Because something is taking long here, I don't know what. There's nothing specific that's taking long, it's just everything looks like. I need it to be faster. Can't be that slow just for a calculator. Okay, I think we'll add that as a task to make the calculator faster, because it definitely can't be that slow. That's horrible. Okay, let's go to the tasks. Okay. Make the initial load of the calculator faster. It takes too long, man. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we have a task for it. Hopefully we'll get to it. I want to see if I can see exactly, maybe pinpoint something in here that's just too slow. Okay, so memory took quite a long time. Oh no, it's just a bunch of things. Okay, what took the longest? The longest was bisexual.json. Okay, so this is a theme that we loaded. Why did it load the theme if we are not even using the theme right now? Okay, so looks like it's loading themes even if the person don't have the theme currently enabled, but it's loading it. So that could be why. Okay, let's just ask a question here. Try to figure it out. I will ask a new question here on the side. I'm trying to figure out why the calculator takes a long time to load when you open it. I checked the network tab and I see we're loading all of the themes on startup. Does the web page wait for all of them to fetch before it displays the first content, or how does it currently work? Okay, so my plan here is just to basically figure out exactly how the current system works as a start, because I don't want us to be loading all the themes and only show the UI once all the themes are loaded. That doesn't make any sense. We should just load the theme that is required and immediately show the UI. I think we're also loading all the languages, are we not? No, we're not. So yeah, why are we loading the themes but not all the languages? Just some AI writing bad code, I'm guessing. I'm tracing the startup path that loads themes and the first paint path. Okay, perfect. Let's wait for it to finish though. I see we have 3 viewers. Welcome 3 viewers. Thank you for tuning in. How are you guys doing? Any vibe coders? Okay. Let's then ask a follow-up question here. Can we improve this so that it's not so slow anymore? I guess you could ask that. Just gonna wait for this to finish first though. Hello Mr. Ian. I've also used quite a few prompts, but only on one-time usage GPT 5.4. GPT 5.4. I really want to use just GPT 5.5 the whole time, but it's just too expensive. The same for Claude Opus 4.6. It would be nice if I could just use Opus 4.7 and GPT 5.5 the whole time. But paying 7.5x multiplier and 15 multiplier is just crazy. There's no way it's worth it, because for the same price, because 7 prompts for GPT 5.4 is the same price as 1 prompt for GPT 5.5. It's just crazy. Ian says, when I have to use it and the free model or 0.33x doesn't work. Yeah. I've been using GPT 5.4 mostly in this video, but normally I use the GPT 5.4 mini one most of the time. And if something doesn't work, then I switch to GPT 5.4. But as you guys can see here, that usually if I'm asking questions, I use GPT 5.5 mini, or if it's basic things like changing text and things like that, then GPT 5 mini free one is perfect for that, which is free. But from next month, this one won't be free anymore, unfortunately, because GitHub is changing their pricing models. Let me show you how scummy they are. Not actually scummy, but it's just expensive, you know. GitHub pricing, GitHub Copilot pricing. So if we go to news, here you can see GitHub Copilot shifts to usage-based pricing June 1. Why, that's no surprise. Microsoft to shift GitHub Copilot to token-based pricing. GitHub will start charging Copilot users based on their actual AI usage. So you can see from next month, the pricing model is completely changing. Unfortunately, it's going to be way more expensive, which really does suck. But that is life. We can't all have nice things, you know. I see we got 5 viewers. Welcome everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. Currently we are building a calculator, because currently I'm obviously using the Steam Deck, and the Steam Deck runs on SteamOS, which is Linux, and Linux doesn't have any decent calculator. There's no good calculator on Linux, and I really need a calculator that's good. So we are actually rebuilding the Windows calculator, but building it as a cross-platform calculator. And there's a freaking mosquito right here on me. And we're not just rebuilding and cloning the exact Windows calculator, we are actually aiming to make it better as well. And yeah, that's basically what we are building. I don't understand you. What do you mean, Ian? What don't you understand? Man, this thing is taking long. Okay, while that's busy going, I think I might as well test the calculator a bit more in detail and make sure it's working well, I think. Don't like the hover on these buttons. That hover should be different, I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna change that. I don't like the hover on the on some of the buttons on the programmer mode. Can we make it better like in the attached one? Also, let's just do that for now. I'll choose a cheaper model, GPT 5.4 mini, and I'll queue it. Let it cook. Tim Cook, who is not the CEO of Apple anymore. I think he stepped down, didn't he? Something like that. Okay, we've changed 10 files. There's a notice.txt file. Calculator, vendors, NerdDamer for runtime use and NerdDamer, yada yada yada. Ah, very cool. Third-party software notices and information do not translate or localize. This project incorporates material from third parties. Okay. NerdDamer. Let's go have a look at NerdDamer. Let's just close this. I'll open up my normal browser, NerdDamer, GitHub. Okay, NerdDamer, a symbolic math expression evaluator for JavaScript. Okay. Over 1,000 commits, 21 contributors, still actively being maintained. Oh, actually, no, it's not. There's just been README changes for the past 3 years. Okay, so it doesn't seem like it's actually being maintained anymore. Fix. Oh, someone worked hard here. Bunch of fixes. Okay. So I guess he was still working on it in 2021, but then stopped working on it. Create citation. If you use the software, please cite it as below. Okay. And then what did he change in the README? Let's have a look. Note that Together Science Project decided to pick up the banner where NerdDamer. Ah, okay, so they seem to be maintaining it now. I will take a look there, because then in that case we should be using that one instead of this one. NerdDamer is currently being ported to TypeScript. This will have substantial breaking changes. A full list of changes will be published with the official release. You can track the TypeScript port here. Okay, that's why he hasn't been active. Looks like. Okay, update April 2025. NerdDamer is currently being ported March 2026. So this is like just now. The TS port is mostly complete. The work is ongoing depending on available time. Okay. Assuming you've saved the file in the root. Okay. Well, I'm glad at least he's still working on it. Let's go have a look at this other one that he's posted. NerdDamer Prime. The continued NerdDamer project. Okay. So why? This is a continuation of Martin Donk's NerdDamer project. We forked this a while ago, but are up to speed with everything Martin did before he archived the original repo. The license is unchanged. In version 1.4.0 has essentially reworked the type system and the dependencies on big integer and big decimal. Thanks, Cameron. Please let us know if you find that this leads to any incompatibilities with old versions. I'm just scrolling through it. Our intentions: to keep NerdDamer in good repair. Sorry, YouTube Shorts people aren't seeing this properly now. I need to actually fix it for you guys, which I will do right now. I think. How can I make it better for YouTube Shorts? Like so. Yeah. There we go. Okay. I'll make the text bigger. Okay. Our intentions to keep Nerdhammer in good repair and make improvements where we need them and where we can. Mostly bug fixes. If you investigate some of the bugs in the old repo, you will see that people ask for things it should be able to do. Mostly to do with simplifications. This kind of stuff is difficult, and it is more difficult in someone else's code base. Nerdhammer wasn't meant to be a complete symbolic algebra system. Its wealth of features can fool you, though. Its features and the fact that it works fast in the browser and Node.js makes it worthwhile. But please understand that it will not achieve a whole lot more than it can do right now. Consider using SymPy in a WASM web worker. We have made some improvements, simplification of logs and square roots, and bug fixes related to those areas and factoring. Unit tests are fixed except for a couple of known flaws. There will be further work in this area. We will also work on vectors which are not useful for our product together.math today. Those will be breaking changes. These are now in progress for versions bigger than 1.2. You are welcome to fork an earlier version if you have a clear bug file and issue with the code to reproduce. Okay, interesting. As of version 0.5, the library is split into the core and optional add-ons which can be loaded after the core has been loaded. Okay. So I'm wondering if we should maybe then use this one instead of the other one. Because this one obviously does seem to be the better one since it's still being maintained. I wonder. Let's first take a look at this guy's TypeScript version and how that's going. Because it seems like it's obviously still working on it. It says 2.0. And not 2.0. Let's find his readme again here. You could track the TypeScript port here. Okay. Okay, only 4 commits ahead. What? Okay, updates to docs and specs additions. Let's have a look. I'm going on a whole rant here. It isn't actually needed. I'm wasting time. I should be vibe coding. Updating TS2 port. Okay. Okay, starting 2.0 TS port. April 4. That was just the other day. Okay. Okay, for now I'm not going to do anything. Let's have a look at how our AI is doing. It looks like it's finished. Let's just see the prompt that we did. So we asked it to improve the button hovers. Yes, I remember. Okay, let's go check that out. It broke it. That's not even closely. Okay. Oh no, man. Okay, let's redo that using a better model. Let's see if it works better. Because that was horrible. Okay, let's see if it improved the accordion hover and the graphing pop-up, because that's something we did as well. Okay, let's go to graphing, and see the options. Okay, that has been improved. Perfect. Although, in my opinion, it should have made the width bigger. So maybe we asked it to do that. Yeah, let's do that. For the graphing options, I see the units and buttons. buttons have now pushed the gradients one down to a second row. In my opinion, there is enough space to just expand the pop-up width, and then it can then the three buttons can stay in the same row. Okay. No, I don't like what it's doing here. I'm going to revert the hover. Don't want that. I'll paste a whole new prompt. I'll do that. Let's see how it goes. We've got 5 viewers. Welcome everyone. Hope you're doing fine, and thank you for watching. We are busy building the best calculator that exists, essentially. Because the Steam Deck and Linux doesn't have any good calculators. So we are on a mission to build the best one. And we are going to be releasing it on Steam and charge some money for it. But people on Linux generally don't want to pay for stuff. So there will be a free version available as a web version, as well as a flat hub version on the KDE Discover store. But then if you want it on Steam, you're going to have to pay for it. I don't know how much yet. And the Steam version might also have some DLCs to add some cool themes to it. I'm planning to actually add more than 1,000 different themes for the calculator that changes how it looks. As an example, you can see I'm currently running a terminal theme, as you can see. And there's many other themes as well available. So slowly we'll be building more than 1,000 different themes. And then eventually I might move some of them out into separate DLCs. Okay, perfect. Looks like it fixed the issue I had. Let's go check if the issue is fixed on the accordions. That's not fixed yet. That's not fixed yet. Okay, let's take a screenshot again and try and get it to fix that fast. Okay. We can commit this message, this one's change so long. Style improve layout and padding in the graphic. Okay, we'll commit that. Then I'll say on the accordions, if I hover on it, the hover effect is overlapping and going outside of the border corner on the accordion. You can see it happening in the top right and top left corners on the attached screenshot. Please fix this so that the hover doesn't go outside of the corners. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I'm checking the exact accordion container rules first. Perfect, you do that. And then while that's building, I want to check the tasks again. Test a new web version. Okay, I've been testing it. Okay, so it looks like it's taking quite a few seconds to load. We're looking at roughly 10 seconds to load a calculator. That's just terrible. A calculator should never take so long. Okay, so let's go to a private tab and test it again. Yeah, so it's taking about 10 seconds, it seems, to load the calculator. I think we definitely need to improve that. There it took 12 seconds just to load the calculator. Okay, yes, we need to improve that before I go to bed. That's just terrible. Hey, we got 6 viewers. Welcome everyone. Thank you for tuning in. We are building the best calculator that exists. Because the Steam Deck and Linux doesn't have any good calculators. So someone has to build a new one, and that would be us. Okay, so it looks like it did fix the hover. Let's just go make sure. It's still not fixed, man. Why can't you fix it? What's so difficult about fixing this? Okay, the issue was that the hover fill was being painted directly. Yeah, bro, it's still happening. You didn't fix it. It's fine for now. I'm not going to worry about that too much. Then I need to get it to fix the speed of the page. Let's do that prompt right now. I'm going to close the hello prompt. And I'll move this new prompt in here for YouTube Shorts, people watching from there. Actually, let's just close all others, and then I'll move this new prompt in here. There we go. It's busy doing its job. And we got 7 viewers. Welcome everyone. Thank you for tuning in, as always. For the second day of vibe coding until we make $1 million on a Steam Deck. So far, we have not made any money. We are negative $2,100. But we'll get there. We'll build some cool shit and we'll make some money. Okay, I've narrowed it down, yada yada yada. And maybe eventually we'll upgrade to the Steam machine instead of the Steam Deck. We'll see how it goes once Valve decides to launch the Steam machine. Currently, I live in South Africa, and you can't actually buy any Valve hardware here. You have to import it, so it's quite expensive. Luckily, I found a Steam Deck for very cheap in South Africa that someone else imported already, and I got it brand new as well, which is very nice. But my Steam Deck is quite old. I've had the Steam Deck for about 3 years now, so it's quite an old one. I have the original LCD one, but it works. It's doing the job. Like you can see, I currently have 3 monitors plugged into it. I've got a mouse plugged into it, a keyboard, a webcam, a headset. I've got a full setup. So even though it's a Steam Deck, I'm using it as a full-blown computer. I think we need to add some tasks here again. Look into replacing Nerddamer with Nerddamer Prime or Nerddamer TS 2.0 TS version. Okay, that's something to investigate in the future. And now we are just waiting for this AI. So currently we have an issue where it's very, very slow to load the calculator, because I will show you. Currently, if you open up the calculator, it actually takes about 10 seconds to load a calculator. So you'll see here, I'm checking the network tab, and bottom right, it's showing the time, and you can see here it took 11.52 seconds just to load a calculator on the web browser page, which is extremely slow considering it's just a calculator. So we are busy improving that right now. Nico is saying, is Linux and gaming device? Lot of devs find cheaper gaming laptops than mobile workstations. Not sure exactly what you are saying, Nico, but yeah, sure. Is Linux and gaming device? Yeah, so the Steam Deck is a Linux and gaming device. It's running Steam OS, which is very cool. If I just search Steam OS, you can have a look right here. Steam OS is just a normal Linux distribution. Normally it starts in gaming mode, which is what you see here, but then you can click on Steam, and then from there you can then go to, I think, settings, and then exit to desktop, and then you enter a full-blown Linux desktop, and you can install and do whatever you want to do. Because the Steam Deck is essentially just a PC. It's just a small PC. Just a small portable PC, essentially, is what a Steam Deck is. And SteamOS is available for anyone to actually install. You can come to this website here, and then somewhere here you can click on this text link here, and then you can actually download an ISO and install it on any other computer. It doesn't work great with NVIDIA, so if you have an NVIDIA GPU, it may or may not work. For some people it's working, for some it's not. It works great on AMD CPUs and AMD GPUs. It also works fairly well on Intel CPUs. So if you have Intel or AMD, you should have a pretty good time on SteamOS. And yeah, it's just a normal distribution, just normal Linux, normal computer. I definitely recommend giving it a go. It's pretty nice. Okay, let's see how the AI is doing. If it succeeded in making it faster for us. Okay. The settings do this rendering correctly. My first lecture was yada yada. Okay. Should I read this? I think I should read this just to make sure of what it's actually doing. Yeah, so if you do have an NVIDIA GPU, Nico is suggesting to use Bazite. Bazite is definitely a good choice. It's not the only choice. There is two good alternatives. The one is Bazite, like he said. Bazite OS is a good Steam OS like operating system if you have NVIDIA hardware. So you can look into Bazite. There is, however, also CachyOS, which is also a pretty good alternative. So both CachyOS and Bazite have like a Steam OS version of their operating system. So for Bazite, you go download Bazite, and then I've never used Bazite, the Steam OS version really, so I don't know exactly. Oh yeah, select your hardware. There we go. Then you can choose how you want it. So you can choose like a home theater PC or just normal desktop or a handheld. And depending on what you choose, it'll give you an image file for that. But CachyOS is different. CachyOS only offers you two ones, either the desktop edition or the handheld edition. And this one is basically the SteamOS variant of it. No problem, Ian. I see Ian says his stream is behind. So late replies, all good. How far behind is your stream, do you think? Because the messages you sent earlier that I answered for you was like half an hour ago at least. So you must be at least half an hour behind on the stream then. So you'll hear me say this at half an hour in the future, probably. Okay. I think I should quickly just scan here, just see what's happening. And yes, Ian, Tim is no longer cooking, unfortunately. I don't even know the name of the new guy. I did know it, I watched the video on him, but I don't even remember. Nothing noteworthy. Okay, I'm just quickly reading here. It's too much. I'm just gonna ask it here. Please sum up what changes we made. Yeah, let's just do that. I don't want to read all that. Too much effort. But I am curious to know what it did. Okay, summary of what I changed. Rework theme loading so the boot path no longer waits for every theme file. The manifest and only the active default themes are loaded before the app renders. The rest of the theme catalog is preloaded in the background and added to the runtime catalog once available. Okay, perfect, perfect. That's exactly what we wanted here. Okay, key code changes. Themes.js, split manifest loading from theme definition loading. I'm just going to scan here, verification. If you want, I can now profile remaining startup costs, language init, nerddaemon script, and optimize the next largest contributor, or make the background preload use. Okay, now I think it should be fine now. Let's just commit this, and then we go test it. Okay, I'll say commit and push. Perfect. I should be going to bed. Because I have to wake up in like 4 or 5 hours from now, depending on when the baby wakes up. But usually it could be like 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 7 o'clock, but usually quite early. But I'm having so much fun vibe coding. Okay, let's go check if the new version is live, and we just quickly test it. Oh, we are one commit away from having 1,000 commits on the calculator. Freaking 1,000 commits. We are almost there. Okay, so it's published. Let's go test it, I think. Okay, so enter. Let's see how fast it is. Okay, that's definitely faster. That was 4 seconds. I've never seen it go that fast. So we cut the time in half. It's still a bit slow though, but it's definitely better. Let's test again, just to make sure. Oh yeah, that was quick. That was 1 second. Okay, so it definitely worked. The changes worked. Okay, yeah. There's definitely still room for improvement. It is still a bit slow, but it's much better. I'm happy. Okay, thank you everyone. I think I'm gonna head to bed then. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everyone who joined the comments and chatted with me. It was fun. So first day of actual coding done. Tomorrow we will continue vibe coding. I don't know exactly yet what we'll be vibe coding tomorrow. If you have any ideas, feel free to list it down in the comments section. The calculator is in a good position. We need to start working towards making money. So I think tomorrow's plan is to do something that gets us closer to making money. I think that's the plan. Because we need money to get Claude Code and OpenAI Codex. So I think we need to do that. Definitely. Okay. And then I think I might also play with Nico's AI. He gave me an API key. You sent it to me on LinkedIn, right, Nico? I will go have a look. We might play with that soon as well. Test the API, send me feedback. I will definitely do so. Thank you, Nico. I appreciate it. I shall do some testing. And then I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.